stops working and I can't do this. I've not experienced that. I don't experience that on Mac OS. That has its own problems, but
Turn it
I
off and
don't
on
experience it
again.
on Linux. Yeah,
But
that's classic.
later.
Cool. So that's that. Now, what you would really want to do next is write a big old prompt saying, "This is what you need to design." Realistically. And now I would not write it directly. I would start by saying, all right, I'm going to have an LLM write a first version. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to see if it makes some sense because we're trying to save time here on stream. Windows does that. It's getting worse with each new version. That's crazy.
Yeah, I have a bad relationship with Linux, and I obviously am never going to use a Mac there. So here I am. Okay.
Well, way to ruin concurrent viewers, I guess, on
That's right.
on these platforms. Okay, so now that we've done this, I mean, let's just try and give it a prompt and say, let's give it a basic task of some kind, see what comes out.
Sure. Let me commit all this, and then we'll.
Yeah, sounds good.
I do know a little bit about Git, and I've been enforced with using it. So, yeah.
I think Git is perhaps the best program ever written in terms of.
A lot of people are scared of it, so I figured, yeah, we're just gonna make sure we. Look, I'm just lining myself up here with your face. Cool. Okay. So
I think my face is
you
not
want to try
on your
something?
Stream, FYI. Oh, but we know that.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
gotcha.
because I'm not even gonna bother trying to fix that.
Okay, fair enough. Yes. I would start by just saying, what do you want to build? This is now we're in the space of it's your game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a basic feature to try to implement, and we'll just check it out.
Yeah. Well, that's what the reason I stopped it, working on it at the moment was because I kind of got sidetracked by all the other stuff, but also I just like, okay, now I need to actually plan the game out and the actual design of it. And I was at an impasse, so I haven't worked on it too far. Yeah.
Let's what if we make up?
We get chat working.
Yeah, we could get chat working. That's probably a good one, actually. So let's do that.
So
and
I already have it I already have the front end here. I don't think it connects to anything. I think it is just it's like a div to make sure it's all lined up. But we have a chat TSX here, which is the. Let's take a look. What do we have? So we have the task exists. Where's the main? The main is using app there. App TSX. So here.
Okay.
The layout, I believe, is here. And then we have the breakup, like task app. Where is this set up? Sorry. The problem with road kiting is it's been 2 weeks since I opened it, so that's my bad.
No worries.
This is the layout here. So the layout TSX and the components, then we have the split between the 3 different views here. So, but actually for like the actual chat page, there's nothing in it at the moment.
Okay. So, but you do have a page. Can we
I
go
believe
to that
it's
on your website?
Yeah, so it's this is here. This is it here. So this drawer here is this right here, and it's like chat messages will be here. And also the cool thing I managed to get it to do is when you make it mobile view, it will actually, this is supposed to check, it will go away and you can pull it up on the side here. So that'll work for, yeah. So yeah, we just need to get it fit into this kind of module here.
Okay.
That should be not an X, but that is, yeah. This is it. This is the drawer here.
So I guess first question, do you want that to always be there on all pages?
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case,
and like it'll it'll be there, and it'll either go like it'll sidebar will always be there on desktop view, and on mobile view the button. I'll move the button, but that's less of an issue. But yeah, it'll be on all pages.
Okay.
And always connected.
So we're gonna do a little bit of a cheat code. We're not gonna have AI write code. Let's have AI create a plan. And I mean, I could create a plan, but let's see what it does, and then we can read the plan, and then that'll be helpful. And that's helpful if you want to learn.
See what you think.
Because it'll tell you like, here's what I would do without doing it. And so that's what I would try first. So I would switch out of agent mode. Yeah, plan mode, exactly.
Yeah, plan. Yeah. Also, I think Pi is still in chat, but we also have a person working in Godot making a game with SpacetimeDB.
Oh, awesome.
Which I don't know if I wanted to make sure Pi is still here. Hello, Pi, and also if you had any questions for your own little project. But yeah, so plan. How would you do?
So
that?
I would say I am making a game, or I'm making I guess it's called Task App. I'm making an app. I am in the first stages of making that app. I have a chat page. I am using SpacetimeDB. I would like you to implement a chat feature with SpacetimeDB. I mean, I would really keep it just that broad. And I would slap it in there and see what comes out. We got a question here from chat too. When you designed SpacetimeDB, how did you think about the boundary between? Wait,
that was ages
like
ago.
From a million years ago. Why is that being replayed on my stream? Am I watching? No, am I a fool? Am I watching video?
I think you're watching
that's
your
lovely.
video on YouTube. Yeah,
but it says I'm live. Technology has failed us. It's a disaster.
ID10, bro. ID10. Sorry.
Crazy.
ID10T era.
Man.
You know about that one?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah. Maybe because you're on the... Yeah, it's an ID10T era on Tyler's stream.
Oh, an idiot error. Yeah, see, it's also... Have you heard of PEBCAC?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's a fun one. But in this case, I maintain that I did not change the page. It is the software. Yeah. I didn't maintain it. It disconnected me and reconnected me and didn't change the page, but started playing my video. It looks identical to when it is streaming. I'd like to make
I'm building a task app, and yeah, I'll also...
Do you have to like manually add the... I guess will it always read the... Yeah,
I don't have to, but I think it...
Yeah, do it. That makes sense.
Well, I want to do it to see what happens.
All right.
Sidebar sort of layout file. Maybe I'll leave that. I'm building task app using SpacetimeDB. I want to have the chat appear on the sidebar. Sidebar is set in the layout file. SpacetimeDB will be the database that manages the messages.
You don't even have to say that, to be honest. You're using SpacetimeDB.
Okay.
I would just
go more. So we need
just leave it broad.
Method for users to send a message, and it needs to read messages.
Say it needs to subscribe to messages that other people send.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's see what it decides.
Yeah. So normally with the backend stuff, the SpacetimeDB stuff, I try and do it myself because, like I said, I didn't have the context files.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the front end layout stuff, the chakra, like you just sort of like make me this layout, and it actually works 90% of the way, and then it can be fixed pretty easily. And I just assumed that was because there's so much context for how to build front end websites and stuff like that, which is why if you played any modern like releases last couple of years for like indie games, they all look the fucking same visually. Like if they're doing
Right.
like buttons and stuff like that, they actually look quite similar. Okay, so it's got all the
Yeah,
it's
it's
pulled all
figuring
the
out to read,
context.
yeah.
I don't. It didn't really read these prompts.
Oh,
Let me.
well,
It's writing now, but I suspect that it didn't
read the prompts. I don't actually know how this
maybe.
works, so possibly. Can you go to the like attachment thing? Do you have to like click the plus on layout TX or something?
This is new chats.
Sorry, I mean like at the bottom in the thing where you have your input. Is there something in
That's
there
the
that would
agents,
tell you to do that though?
or we can do.
Like his instructions.
Yeah, 1 second. Prompt files. Yeah, see, it hasn't been linked. So let me. Your prompt file. Spacetime. DB. I'm just going to do it like this. Files. New prompt file. Oh, select location first.
Oh, so it needs to be called .prompt.md?
Maybe, or I need to like actually add it, but we'll do that. And we save it, and then I'll just get rid of these other ones. Okay, so now if I go to prompt files, it knows about them. So I might just run it again. Oh no, I'll do a new chat.
Yeah, that's good.
And we'll do plan, and we'll try that. And then I'm going to keep my music going.
Doug Lane says the fact that it's a task app plus SpacetimeDB should be in your agent.md. There's so many markdown files. I agree. Is that a thing in VS Code? Also,
what's that?
Doug Lance is saying in chat that the fact that the high level stuff that it's a task app and in SpacetimeDB should be in your agent.md, but I don't know what an agent.md is. And there's so many different standards for like where your context is supposed to go. It's crazy. But we have given it some context. This github prompts is for on-demand tasks invoked with /. When using the React SDK is equal for on table autocomplete, sometimes but not for identity. This is a known bug, by the way. Zadrot L2. We have that one filed.
I had to rejoin the chats, but I can't bring that one on screen.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the XKCD. We need to bring in more standards.
Oh wait, agent is actually like they've agreed on it?
No, I think it was saying XKCD.
No, but I think
you've seen the competing standards.
Yeah, but
have you seen the competing standards?
I have seen that one, but click the link.
Yeah.
He is saying that it is a standards. It's a standard. But I don't know. Okay. Do they respect it? Because if they don't respect it,
I think that this program, I do prefer this program. I do actually like it. I don't like cursor and stuff like that. I do like this one.
VS Code.
Yeah. Why does it want me to? Oh, it's still. There we go. Yes, it is still thinking. Okay. All right. Planning sidebar bar chat with Spacetime. Add a sidebar panel. Embed the sidebar panel in layout to replacing the placeholder blocks. Reuse the SUV hook pattern task list, and user config to subscribe to message rows, which I believe the message table already exists. I'll just double check. Yes, it does. So I have primary key. One thing that I found when I was making the chat app is that because I didn't have a primary key on the messages, I couldn't do things like run edit, right? So if someone wanted to edit their message or delete their message, it needed a unique identifier, which is what I added. And
Makes
that's
sense.
so I did that. Sender is sent in text. And sender is using the identity. Sent is using timestamp, and text is just a string.
Exactly
so it already exists. Implement a send handler that calls send message reducer, define and send message reducer with the type, require the payload from send message type. This is the binding. And then ensure provider wiring remains intact. Main TSX to avoid separate chat route in chat TSX unless you want to pull full page view.
Yeah, it's a little disturbing that it's saying that calls send message reducer defined in send message reducer TS, because it should be using use reducer, which the other time you prompted it, it actually did say correctly in the previous chat. So we'll see what it does, but that's like not what I would
Is it
do.
maybe, do you think not?
I don't know.
Hold on. Maybe it's chat instructions. Maybe it's not prompt files. Maybe it's chat instructions.
Heinous, this whole thing is burn it to the ground.
You don't like, what do you use, Cursor or something? Or
I use Claude Code.
Claude Code, okay.
Because it does a better job of just exploring your project and doing
right
the right thing.
Hold on. Oh god, don't do that. Stop that. Okay.
It's on the command line. Claude Code is on the command line.
It is called an instruction, right?
I honestly and truly do not know. Let's see. Doug Lance seems like
While using GitHub, this is what he was saying earlier. So while using GitHub prompts, invoked with slash demand task, use compile instructions, MD for ongoing guidance that applies to every interaction you have with the AI. Okay, so
bingo.
Chat instructions. SpacetimeDB. Dot instructions.
So in principle, then, Doug, would you agree that Spacetime init should automatically seed the Copilot instructions.md specifically for ongoing guidance, like by default? I suppose the answer is probably yes.
All right. Let's try one more time. Let's see what it says. And I'm going to choose, which Claude would you use?
I mean,
in this case,
how much money do you want to spend? I would use either Sonnet or I would use Opus. I mean, Opus 4.5. I would use Sonnet 4.5 probably.
Yep.
If you
they all cost the same except for Opus 4.5.
Yeah, so I would do Sonnet 4.5.
Okay. And basically the subscription that I have, the way it works is like all the inline stuff is included, and then there's the premium request. This is what we're using at the moment.
Gotcha.
We make it a flag to tell AI to use Summit at all?
I would suggest we have a wizard that asks to install skills, like HTTP skills, with Copilot instructions sort of being a subset of skills. Is skills the new standard?
There's so many standards. Bruh, everyone's just winging it. I honestly believe this whole world is put together by like 0.01% of people, and everyone else is just winging it.
Yeah, I think everybody's winging it. What is this? Doug Lance. Yeah, unironically, yes. Agent skills. Oh no. So just to be clear, we have agents.md,
Yeah, look,
skills.md,
it's read the instructions this time.
and then agent skills.md. Crazy. All right, so we're putting this in the wrong folder, despite my best efforts.
No, it's good now. It's good now. It's good now.
But I mean, SpacetimeDB's init command, spacetime init, will fill your project with instructions, but we're putting them in the wrong place.
I see.
I think. I actually have to double check that.
Just put them in all the folders.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're basically saying like, oh, you're using cursor, who just put them everywhere, like copy them a million times.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But it's an endless task.
Okay.
I should just run an LLM on their machine.
This looks better. Let's take a look.
Yeah. That's looking good.
Okay. So create a chat component in client SRC components chat with use table message. That's 100% correct. And use table users, subscriptions, rendering messages with sender. Okay, so this time it's actually connecting it in chat.cx, but chat.cx will be loaded on main and always running, right? Is the understanding? Or should it be in main?
Sorry, main?
Hold on. Main's the connection builder there. Passless. Yeah, no, this is right. Yeah, so it imports. Where should the subscriptions happen?
I see. The subscriptions will happen anytime you do use table. So we just take care of that for you. So and step number 1 is where it's actually doing the subscription. So create chat component with use table.
It's going to do it in here. Would this be where you put it in its own little the page here?
You certainly would. Yes. Yep.
Yes. Okay. That's right. Okay. Just want to understand. So like if we're, I wanted to build a PWA, like it needs to be like a 1-page app to give the best experience. So it should always just be connected.
It will. So we are intelligent, and in the back end, we're going to the SpacetimeDB is going to connect once, and it's going to reuse that.
I'm glad you're intelligent because
well, I'd like
you
to
say we.
I mean, the code is intelligent.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So it's going to only connect one time to the server.
Right.
It will manage multiple subscriptions.
Yes. Okay. So it's doing that. Rendering messages with sender usernames using the identity lookup pattern from tasklist.tsx, which tasklist.tsx does this. So like when I have the task, I submit it. I might not be connected at the moment, but basically where it had the UID and then it had the username, when I actually have a username, it did that.
Okay.
Timestamps and text content in a scroll list. Add message input to chat component with Chakra UI. Input button using user reduce send message to recall send message text user input when the user submits. That's correct as far as I am. Yeah, that's correct.
Looks correct.
Place placeholders and layout and desktop and mobile in the chat component. Correct. And style message bubbles to differentiate methods messages from other users. That sounds good.
Auto scroll behavior, message history limit. That makes sense. Timestamp formatting. That also makes sense. This looks like a great plan. If it were me and I didn't want to learn, I would just say do it.
Send it.
Yeah. I mean, you could also like commit your changes if you have any, and then send it, and we can always roll back if we don't like what it does. Also, Doug Lance says, just use this. npm.js package skills. Vercel will maintain that stuff for me.
This is on your deployment side?
I think so. But it's crazy because there's agents. Okay, so just to be clear, there's agents.md, there's skills.md, and then there's agentskills.md or whatever this is. I actually cannot. I need an AI to just like manage the AI files.
You see where I stand on this? Like, we're getting too deep, but
yeah, true.
Pi is back. Pi, do you have anything to showcase for Tyler today with your Godot? Pi's using Godot to build like a Escape like game too, and using SCDB. We can connect to his game using localhost.8000. But
yeah.
It's in Discord and it's scuffed. All right, let me take a look here. Can you at me with it?
Adios with.
Oh, here we go.
Also,
Here's what it looks like 100% server side. Huge.
what does 100% server side mean in this case?
Using STDB.
Oh,
So all the movement and stuff, I guess, I'm assuming the movement is all subscribed as well.
gotcha.
So he's not using any. I think you guys have like some kind of like prediction stuff, as where you
Not
can
built into
get the client to
SpacetimeDB.
predict.
We do.
Yeah,
In
it's more
Bitcraft,
of-
we do it on top of SpacetimeDB. But
Okay, yeah.
Doug, if you could
I think
do
what
that,
Pi is saying is
sorry,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but Doug's made it important. If you could make that PR, I would eternally thank you. If you could help me manage this context hell, I think it makes a huge difference for actual user experience, because it's the difference between, oh, it just worked, and like I had to spend however long trying to get it to work. So thank you. Sorry, sorry to interrupt, but what were you saying?
No, you're right. Yeah. So that they so they're authentic, authoritated client sends intents, and it just So I don't think they're doing any predictions. He's doing any predictions, but yeah, it's just like because he's running locally, it's instant. Also because it's tile based as well. Presumably it's less kind of like Bright Shores. It just runs.
Yeah. Fun fact: I spoke with Andrew Gower one time and talked with him about his engine. I think he's called like Fen engine or something like that.
FenForge. When was that?
FenForge. That's it. 20. Let's see.
Before the game came out.
Oh yeah, like 2019, maybe 2020. No, it would have had to been 2020. Something like that. I think it was during COVID. Very interesting. Very interesting discussion. I really enjoyed speaking with him.
Yeah, no, I think that I don't have anything against the Gowers at all. I'm sure they think I do, but I think they're very smart. But I don't think they're good game designers.
I doubt. Well, I mean, they did design RuneScape, and there's something to be said for that.
I think a lot of people design RuneScape.
It could be, but I mean, realistically, I don't know. I wasn't.
There's a lot of historical context with Classic and Ars Classic and stuff like that. That when you start looking, they're all there too. Like when you start looking back, there's a little bit of weirdness, and I think that lightning in a bottle kind of happened. And I think a lot of people worked on RuneScape to make it really good.
I do, but like knowing the history of Jagex, is that how you pronounce it? Jagex? Java
Gex.
Yeah, so yeah. Jagex. I feel like they had done a lot of it by the time that it was scaling. Like their team was not very big when it started taking off. And so who could have done it? I don't know, man. Who knows?
All right, so let's YOLO it, see what happens. I've done a branch, so maybe should I do? Hold on, should I pull a? I'm on main at the moment. Should I do a branch thing? This is where I get stuck on Git. Should I do a branch here?
No, or... you could just keep going. I mean, you could, branch. Why not? Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
so there's two different ways. Is I can do a branch here, run the implementation, or I can run the implementation. If it sucks, I can just pull back to the main. Is that right? There's two different kind of thought processes.
Well, you would go back to a commit in the main thing. Fun fact: Git and blockchains are very similar in their implementation. I would actually argue that Git is a blockchain kind of. So you would move back to like the earlier block is, I guess, how you would think about that.
What is the industry standard? It would be to make a branch, right?
Branches are really if you are working with multiple people. But if you're just doing the same stuff, you can just go backwards. Or you want to try multiple things at the same time. It's actually a form of multi-version concurrency control, which I've mentioned before. But do you want to keep multiple versions? If you only care about going back in time, you don't need multiple versions.
Right.
But if you want to try two different things, then you do need multiple versions. I would just create a branch.
I guess like multiple version would be like if let's say the game was live and I can, the cool thing about SCDB is that when the game is live, you can actually add changes and shit like basically instantly, and with the users just like, oh, hey, I refresh the page and it works. But for that to work effectively, we'd need to have like a dev branch, right? And then like in the main, you have a dev branch where you can play around with the dev version of the game.
Typically, you would. You could do that. That's probably what you would do. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, actually. The key to Git is to just understand like some very, very basic things, and then you can kind of freestyle on top of it however you want.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah. Anyway, this is good. Make a branch.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see.
I would also say, for what it's worth, what Dovo says is pretty much correct. The standard way, like for example, in our company, is that you work on your own branch, and then when you want to sort of commit your stuff to the actual repository in a way, trying to not use like jargon, you would merge it back into main, and then main is the actual app.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm in Vibin. That's the branch.
Yeah, Vibin's great. Vibin's great. That's perfect.
And so
then
it reckons if I just there was a it was like commit changes.
There's a what?
I'm just gonna say auto scroll. Keep the latest message at the top.
It might think when you mean commit changes, it might think it needs to do git. I would.
Oh, display all message or implement pigment pagination limiting for. Okay, so show up to 100 messages scrollable, and then use relative. No, use absolute time.
What does Discord do?
What does Discord do? It changes to timestamp. It uses timestamp, then it goes yesterday, then it goes week, like a day.
Yeah,
once
right.
It gets 2 days or more. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I have a question. You had a folder called STDB. Can we go look at what that is in that folder? I didn't.
So we have STDB, client. Oh, and then we have like the. Do you mean the component here?
Yeah.
This is use STDB.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong stream. So I'm behind.
OBS is where you want to look at.
Yeah, I know, but I've got 6 of them because my stream keeps crashing. Okay. Yeah, so. Oh, okay. It's just your connection. Sure, that's fine.
I was copying from another. I was looking at another app, and that's how they connected through an extra file instead of doing it right on main. And I wanted to do that as well, just to try and break things up a bit.
If you
so I can
correct name
adjust
for
the connection.
File should be something to the effect of connection builder. You could call it use STDB.
Okay.
I'll explain a little bit further. So in React, there's a pretty standard thing called React hooks. And the convention is that those are always called use and then some word. So like use reducer or use table or use state or use effect. So that's what I would imagine was in that file if I were to look. But in fact, you actually don't even have TSX, which is React stuff. You just only have regular TypeScript in that file. So I would call this file connectionbuilder.ts. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Give me one
I think
second.
the copy that I did actually have that React stuff then.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And you probably removed it. I'm going to turn my light on because people are saying that I'm looking into the sun. 1 second. Hopefully now my face is like less blown out on stream. It is.
So it is just gone crazy. The way I was doing it before is I would do one file at a time. Like I don't want anything. It's like one at a time. So this terrifies me. The fact that it's just gone like crazy.
That's yeah, fair. That's fair.
Just only because it was good for learning. So okay, it did one thing. Let's take a look at what it did. Why did it do this? Understand, and then move on, right?
However,
I've not done this.
And I wouldn't necessarily, but you've got me. So we're going to go through all of it, and we're going to go through and explain all of what it has done.
Yeah, I normally wouldn't do this, only just for my own benefit.
Okay, let's
Okay.
see what it says. Yeah.
So it did all that stuff. It's adjusted layout. Okay, so implementation complete. It's created the chat.tsx here inside the component. I guess it didn't know this page existed.
Where did it put it instead? Oh, inside components.
It's a component.
That probably makes sense though, because typically for pages you want that to be a full page, like a place that you would route to.
Okay.
From slash whatever, and in your case, chat is just a component on all pages.
Yes.
So
okay.
That makes sense.
Yep. Modified the layout to integrate it. Subscribe to messages and user table using SpacetimeDB. Shows up to 100 messages using slice 100, 0, 100. Messages sort in reverse chronological order. Place at the top. Auto scrolls to show a newest. And displays sender username with fallback to identity substring. Shows absolute timestamps.
Makes sense to me.
Use the send message reducer. Reduces send message, which I already created.
Yep.
Beforehand. So basically, I had all of the database structure correct already, I think, but I didn't have the front end like use all that. So I think the last thing I did was I managed to type into like the actual console, like send message, and then view them.
Right.
And then it did some layout stuff. All right, so it made.
So what changes did it make actually? Can you go to that div thing again, or maybe not?
I may have hit too quickly, but it made this. It did all this, and then it did some stuff in layout.
Okay, so just mainly 2 files. So we can let's go through those 2 files, and I'll just see if there's anything that looks a little funky to you that I can explain, if there is indeed anything. That's
most of the changes. Shit, I shouldn't have committed so early. Let's see,
you can see the blue thing next to maybe. I mean, you might know this or not. So you see the numbers. That'll show you what has changed.
Yeah, so it's done some navigation stuff,
and you can actually.
I'll say this. I'll say this now. Yeah. I have absolutely no interest, nor hope, or desire to fully learn the React UI shit. I'm just gonna hope that it works.
Yeah, thanks to React.
I think that fundamentally, I think it's a waste of time. Like if it looks good and it works, and I can get it to work, and we can AI through it, I think that. And other than like aesthetic changes, I just don't think that there's it. I just don't think there's a benefit.
You're 100% correct. CSS is not designed to be written by humans. Can you, on there, I'll just show you this one thing in VS Code. So the blue thing on the left, you can actually hover it.
Yeah.
And then click it there, and it'll just show you this is the exact changes that I made.
Okay, yeah.
So that's sometimes helpful.
Yeah, mostly it added some, okay. And then it added this whole file.
Yeah, so let's go through this file, I guess, right?
Let me close this. There we go. So that's your Chakra and React. Get username by identity. It's done the actual type correctly. I remember having trouble with this type of stuff. And then return username. So format the timestamp. That makes sense to me. Handle both old. Yep.
Can I see, type of, it's interesting. It's one way to do it. I would not have done it the way that it did, but it's not wrong. It's just there's 2 ways to do this. And then it's saying, go through the user table. It's not especially efficient. That's fine for now.
Yep.
Let's see, format timestamp, fine, okay.
There's your milliseconds. US. Ugh. It's gonna do month day.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Ugh. You shouldn't see a message more than a day old anyway, so it's fine.
It's true. I mean, you can always just change it to like ENAU, I assume. Is that what it would be?
Just anything except US.
Fair enough.
Well, thank you, your month day.
Yeah, fair. And then let's see here.
So use the message tables. Does it have to connect to the user in this? Like, one thing that I ran into as well was on the task list page, I have to connect to the users table to get the user, so it can identify it. The way I did it, I guess, was it had to figure out who the user was using the users table.
Yep.
But would this also mean I need to connect to the users table in another component?
So you're saying like, oh, hey, if I want to find the username of a person and the message, I don't store the username. So I need to look it up. I need to get the user to look it up. That is correct. You need to do that.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I can store the username in the message table itself.
You can.
Because right now I'm storing the identity of the user, not the actual username.
That process is called database denormalization. So that is just when you duplicate data so that you have to do less looking things up. Database normalization is the other way around, where you are deduplicating data. So you're basically saying, I'm going to connect these two things with an identifier, but it means when I want to find one, I have to look it up in the other table. Now, why is this helpful? Because think about this. Let's say you have this chat app. Long-lived chat messages. You change.
Wait. Let me interject. Let me interject. If I'm using denormalization, if the username changes, like the user changes their name, let's say they go to profile and change their name, the message table will not update with the new username unless I tell it to.
Yeah, unless you go through
and go and update. Yeah.
Potentially hundreds of thousands of messages.
Yes.
Correct.
So normalization, and by looking up, and I'm assuming that is the better way I guess it might depend on the context of what you're doing.
It does.
But like,
there are trade-offs.
Bitcraft has normalization because I've seen people's names change.
Correct.
So it's
yes. Yeah. I would say that in general, it's better practice to normalize things, but for performance, you may choose to denormalize things.
I see.
That's how I would suggest.
Yeah. So something that is maybe more static, less like a username, and more something static, you could probably denormalize it.
Something that's like one and done, right? So like, if, for example, let's say you have Twitch chat. If somebody changes their username in the middle of their Twitch chat, do you really have to go back and change all their pre-existing message usernames? It's like, probably not. But in Discord, probably, because you don't want to be like, well, who is this person? I don't see this person here because they changed their name.
That's a really good example. And I think Twitch doesn't actually update the names, so I think that makes sense.
There you go. They've probably denormalized it.
Okay. So in this case, we are normalized.
Correct.
Because we're using the table. Okay.
Yes. I'll throw something else out there, which is kind of relevant. Have you seen views in SpacetimeDB?
I was going to have a conversation to understand views, because under the context of building an application database rather than a video game database, I think having a better understanding of views would be good.
So a view is sort of like an imagined table that is built from other tables. And so one thing that you could do here is, with a view, is denormalize in the view. And so basically, then when the username changed, SpacetimeDB would do all of the work of appropriately updating the view for anybody who was looking at it. So it would detect that you changed your username and that the view read from that username, and that because somebody changed the username, all of the rows in the thing should automatically be updated and then streamed down to your clients. So that's just one of the cool things that views can do. I think we have to do some more programming to make that better and correct. But that's just something that would allow you to like see your table as though it is denormalized, but actually behind the scenes it is normalized.
And if I was to make my understanding of views as well is where you can get a little bit more permissions based. So if I was to make a guild chat or a private message, I would use a view so that only the two people messaging had access to the table.
That's correct.
Using their authorization. And then who's rendering, like so I with my authorization, I'm going to go into the server and say, hey, I have access to this message, and then the server is going to send the data, and then the website is going to build the table. Or where does it build? It's like where is the?
Okay, so let me take one step back. What is a view? A view is two things. One is it is a table, so it's just a regular table. It's a table though that is generated on demand. So, and there's details because we can cache it and we can do materialization and all these kinds of things. But it's basically, it doesn't exist until you look at it. But once you
Yeah.
look at it, we build it for you, or we
Yeah.
use the table we've already built for you. And the mechanism by how that table is created is determined by your view function. So that's the thing that you write inside SpacetimeDB in the code. So if you look at like the documentation for views or whatever, that is what you as the application developer will write. And so from the outside of SpacetimeDB, you cannot tell that it's any different than a table. Like it is a table. With the one caveat that views can take a parameter. So the parameter in this case is the identity of the person who is subscribed. And so you can have a table which looks different based on who is looking at that table.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think so. Let me just start something here. Nope. Nope. There. Someone make all the art for your little pictures?
Yes.
Your little Bitcraft dudes?
Yes.
That's cool.
One of our artists did.
All right, there we go. That should.
Oh my god!
Help. I think that's
very clever.
Yeah.
So
see,
now,
I'm good at stuff. Just some stuff.
That's fun.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Right.
So, in summary, views are a table. They're a table from the outside. You can't tell that they're not anything other than a regular table. From the inside, you determine how that table is built with the view function. And the view function can take parameters. So it can ask who is looking at this table. And based on who is looking at this table, I can do different things.
Yeah.
And so that's how you can implement private messages, because you can say, hey, if anybody but the two people who are in this DM look at this table, it should show no messages.
Does Bitcraft, if we want to bring it back a little bit for the viewers to help them understand, does Bitcraft use views at the moment?
Bitcraft does. I don't know the answer to that. Well, the deployed version of Bitcraft, I think, does not. They are working on adding views. The thing to understand about Bitcraft is it was made well before many of these new features of SpacetimeDB are there. So there's a whole bunch of like legacy code in a way that they are using, and they need to modernize it as we release. So as SpacetimeDB releases, there's a lag time between when we release a feature and when they adopt that feature.
And then they implement it. So how would you use it in Bitcraft?
So in Bitcraft,
views.
Yeah, so in Bitcraft, let's talk about views as they will be, not as they are at this moment. So for example, in Bitcraft, you would say, you would have a table of chunks, right? So that's got all the chunk data. And I mean, really, you have a lot of views, but let's assume there's one table for all the chunk data. And
chunks being like physical parts of the world?
Yes, correct. So you can see them there. Every exploration chunk is also the same as a chunk of
I believe there's
information.
There's a grid for that. That's
the one. Yep. So you could say, for example, when Teloril looks at the terrain data table or the chunk table, it should only
all the tiles on the ground.
Correct. It should only show data from chunks, like where they are near
where Teloril the character is right?
Correct,
basically
exactly.
in a grid like this.
That's exactly.
So that means if you do that, that means people can't like stalk. Let's say there's a wonder tree over here, right? Yep. Unless I physically have a character there, I shouldn't be able to tell what resources are there.
Exactly right. Yep. So that is what that allows.
And that's how you do it. Yeah.
That is how you do it. There's a lot of details. There's a few features in SpacetimeDB we need. We don't have, for example, view parameters, which is something that we need. And then there's a lot of performance details about optimizing that so that it works fine. Because if you think about it, whereas previously, before views, you were running just one query, which is the same query for all users. So you can kind of evaluate it once. Now each user has their own table. They've got their own version of the table based on what they're looking at. So you need to maintain, and by you I mean me, SpacetimeDB, needs to maintain a copy of that table for each user, and that's totally possible but challenging. Let's put that way.
Yeah, and that's done on the server side.
Done on the server side for you. As far as you know, there's a table just for you, just for your own personal benefit. Shows you your stuff.
Cool. Okay. And I guess that we could also apply that same stuff to like banks and stuff like that.
You certainly could. Banks and chat messages. I mean, we already apply row-level security rules to chat messages, but I think that is not true of local chat. So like we don't do position-based checking for local chat. So if you say something in local chat, like DMs or DMs, you can't see stuff in other people's DMs because we use row-level security rules, which is the older version of views.
The old version, yeah.
But for local chat, in principle, somebody with access to the database, like who's kind of using the API, could read your local chat from far away. I'm pretty sure that's how it works as of today.
Yes, there's something in BitJita which is that kind of database app that sends all the messages and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, and you can get them in real time, which is very, very powerful. But so we're trying to tighten up a lot of that stuff. A lot of it was waiting on the SpacetimeDB team. We're working as quickly as we can. This is part of why the game is still in early access.
Cool. Okay, so we go back to here.
To your thing.
We're not going to do views at the moment. I don't think there's any context. Like if I had guilds and stuff like that,
if you had guilds,
or private messages, yes.
DMs, then you'd use views.
I'd say test to make sure it works, and really.
Yeah.
Now I haven't made a new reducer, so really all I need to do is I don't need to do new bindings. I haven't, because those already existed, so I shouldn't need to do any. I just need to run the app, right?
Correct. Have you also heard of SpacetimeDev? Have you? Has that been made
like when you run the commands right on the command?
Well, SpacetimeDev is a command line command, which will read your files, and it'll make sure if any of them change, it republishes your module automatically.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. No.
So you could try that if you want to.
Well, before I get too crazy, let's
Sure.
Make sure this is running. We'll see what breaks. I'm always pleasantly surprised when it works. I think I'm not on the database. 1 second. I just want to double check.
Ignore that because it's nonsense, but it looks like it's disconnected twice.
Just gonna make sure the tasks are going.
Yeah,
it's not actually connecting at the moment. Oh, I did update it. Wait, did I?
Are you running the database locally? Oh, hold on. Let's see.
Reducer not found. Because I updated this version here, but I don't know if I updated it. Do I need to update it on the server side too? Probably. Like I updated the server, but I didn't update the files on.
Possibly. Can you read that error message? I just want to really read that one more time on SpacetimeDB.
Yep.
It says. No, it's your module code is rejecting the connection intentionally. So go to your module.
This one?
No, the SpacetimeDB. It's under SpacetimeDB source index.
This one? Yeah.
Yes, and then go to search for client connected. I think is what it is. That one.
User not found.
That you're getting the error on line 113. So the sender is not in your database. Did you wipe the database possibly at some point?
I did not, but I think I deleted maybe I deleted the. I can't do Control Shift I. Control Shift I. Does it? No. There we go. Okay. Did I accidentally delete this again? There's the auth token. Do I delete it and refresh maybe, or?
maybe let's just understand what's happening first. So if you go back to the
Oh,
code,
too late.
right,
Sorry.
no worries.
Connected with identity and then it disconnected.
I think it is actually connected. This is again that stupid thing. Oh no, is it not?
No, that is disconnected from SpacetimeDB there.
Let's look at the error message again from the command line. Is that the same thing? No, I don't think so. Database accepted connection.
This might be separate to the chat changes. This might just be my mistake. Yeah, what I was doing earlier, I updated the server, but I didn't update the module here. I don't know if that matters.
I don't believe it should. Well,
Okay.
well, it depends. Like if you wrote code, we could try it just fresh if we wanted to, if we're concerned that things might be out of sync. So I would just do spacetime publish -c. Just wipe everything. I would just wipe it.
Yep.
Give it the old wipe. Dovo says you need to refresh the page. Could that?
I did refresh the page. No, because it didn't work. I did also restart the server here, and it didn't.
I believe SpacetimeDB.
Oh. Okay, and then no need to generate, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. The client connector reducer is throws an error if it found a user row.
Is it wrong?
Is this? It might be this wrong here.
No, it's not wrong. Oh, is it wrong? Oh, it is wrong. Yeah, sorry, your code's wrong. That'll do it.
Okay. There should be a not in here, right?
Correct. Good catch, Dovos.
There?
Yes. Exactly, just like that. Fantastic catch. I'd have been stuck on that one for a long time. Dovos says no.
No?
What do we do wrong? Why can't we do that? I'm pretty sure JavaScript is such that you can just do that. If not user. Oh, no, hold on.
It should update the row from offline to online to update the DB instead of throwing an error in either case.
Yes, Dovos is the only one who's actually reading the code. Certainly I am not. So let's just take a moment to pause here for a second. What is happening? So on client connected. Yeah, go ahead. On client connected, this is when a new client connects. What do we want to do? Right now, what is it doing? Right now, it's looking up the user. If there is a user, it says there isn't a user, which is clearly wrong. If there isn't a user, it says create a user. But this basically means the first time you log in, it will create a user. The second time you log in, it will tell you user not found. So what you want to do is what Dovos is saying, which is you want to change the online status from false to true because there is a user.
Yes, correct? That's right. Okay. So if the user exists already, we're going to update the status to online. Correct. And down here, we're going to change when the user disconnects, we're going to change the status to offline.
Which you actually already do on line 127.
Update. Yes. Okay. So that's the autocomplete that this is doing, the inline suggestions.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
That's it, I think.
And then we'll need to generate?
Nope. You will have to republish the module. Or if you were running SpacetimeDev.
Yeah, republish it, right?
Yes. Let's try SpacetimeDev just for fun. So say no to that.
Yeah.
Just for giggles. So SpacetimeDev. And then you want to do...
rest of the stuff?
SpacetimeDev, give me a second. The same stuff. Yeah, same stuff. It's the same parameters. I don't think you have to pass project path, though. It will figure it out.
No?
just task list. Yep, and give that a crack. Okay, cool. So it regenerated your bindings and published your module and is now showing you the logs from your module.
Okay.
So now as you change things, it's going to automatically republish your module.
Okay. So if I were to go back to here,
Yeah.
and I just, make an error, whatever, it will...
It says like, yep, I published it again. It did. You can see how it says published successfully twice on the screen, once at the very top and once at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it now. Okay, cool. That's really useful. I don't think the documentation mentioned that.
It does now.
The TypeScript stuff. It does now? Okay.
Well, TypeScript, I don't know, but SpacetimeDB it does. Oh, TypeScript.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it probably
the quick chat thing, I didn't. Okay, now it's connected. I'm going to submit a task to make sure that works. It does. I'm going to change my name. Make sure it does. It does. I can complete all that stuff. Great.
Cool.
So chat itself.
Nothing. Damn
it. No. It's hold on. It worked. It worked. I'm laughing because I hate that it did. Does that make sense?
You're saying you hate that it just did it.
It scares me how easy
it is. Yeah.
It is because I feel like my growth is stagnating, and that's why I want to get into this dev stuff. And I just feel like all this time I spent learning is not. It's not a waste because obviously all this context helps.
Sure.
But it's insane to me. I didn't need to really do, and it scares me that I could just vibe, and then it just does it. It's terrifying.
Okay, counterpoint. It would not have been nearly as easy if not for SpacetimeDB. So SpacetimeDB is the other puzzle piece here, because you would it would be a ridiculous amount of, it would be buggy and garbage. And then the other thing is, like, I think you do this, but you'll pick it up by osmosis. You'll learn, based on what it's doing. I think, and
as Pi's saying as well here, it allows you to focus on the high level stuff of the design, like you were saying earlier, is that you can focus on the design instead of the nitty gritty shit.
It does, and I think the thing is, for me, I don't have that same. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't have that same thing of dread.
I'm grinning. It's like, oh my god, but I am grinning at the same time. Yeah.
But the existential
we'll probably
dread,
play Gorgon a bit later.
I think the thing is, for me, I have nothing more to learn about. That's not true, but like, it's a slog. It's not interesting to learn more about how React. I don't need. Yeah. I know the patterns. I don't need more. Done.
Yeah. There's only so much syntax. That's another challenge for me. Is like I kind of understand the programming fundamentals, which is why I can follow code and kind of get an understanding of what's going on, and why when we look at that error, I can see, okay, the if use is there and then it's throwing instead of doing that, right? I can understand all that. It's usually just syntactical bullshit that and which AI is really great at.
It really is. Well. It really is. Me too. I mean, there's plenty of tools that I'm unfamiliar with that it's just like, like GDB. It's like, okay, run this GDB command. That's a debugger. And it's like, okay, cool. I don't want to have to scour through the documentation to find out how this works.
Like Pi is saying, I've been playing this guy who's making a browser remote from scratch, and just, I don't know if he means me or like someone else, but just it makes it so easy. Sorry, they're not using STDB. They're just doing I think that's someone else making a browser mode, not using STDB, and Pi is, and then it's just the night and day difference, I suspect, is what they mean by that. It's funny. Okay, so
go tell
we
them
have chat working. Go tell them to use it. Scratch everything.
Save them some time.
Now I'm going to open another browser tab, incognito, and then we'll go connect again, and we'll see if we can get a second user and see what it looks like. I'm suspecting it didn't connect to the database. Let's take a look.
Should have.
It connects the second time. So the initial connection, it didn't.
Is this the problem I had on stream? What was that? Do you remember?
So it couldn't establish a connection. It disconnected. But then when I refresh, so like the first time it inserts the table, it does, like inserts the user. It's not.
I know what the problem. I know what the problem is. And I only know what the problem is. No, it's nothing to do with anything that is reasonable. open up.
Do you want to take a look at the connection
I
first?
know
Make sure this is
I have run into the problem
okay.
myself. It's actually insane, and I think we fixed it in a newer version. I believe your web server and SpacetimeDB are running on the same port. So go check what that is. They're both on 3000.
So my SCDB is on 3000, and the this site is on 5000.
True, you're right. All right, I take it back. You're right, because I was running the documentation. Right?
I think it's something to do with the code here. I think it's a programming issue because like it's running the first time you connect, it's running this, right? It's inserting the user.
Yeah. It's
doing all that, and then but it's not. I don't know, like, but then when you refresh, it runs this line.
True. So something's wrong with that. Can you open another fresh tab and?
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah, I guess like, can we open up somehow?
I'll close it out.
DevTools first.
Yeah, I'll do that. So this is a new private tab. Oh, okay. It's saying that it. Service code, right? So there's a dev tool. Let's do this, and then we'll go even smaller, like that.
Yes, let's see. We can also print the
make sure.
Make sure it's doing the
yeah.
thing.
So when I open the first time,
okay, and
it doesn't connect to the database.
Yeah,
I'll go to the.
Let's see the logging in here. No, I think it is. So this is a horrible confusion, but actually it is connected. See how it says connected to SpacetimeDB with identity, although it does say disconnected. No, actually.
Now I don't think it's connected because I'll try and submit a task here.
I think you will.
Oh, it did. Oh, it did.
This is because of an insane thing. I think we just haven't shipped the new version. It's because actually
this isn't subscribed at the moment. This table, like it's not. Maybe it's a client issue.
Could be. Why would it not be subscribed? Or is there any world in which this table is full? Like if you refresh, will this be full?
No.
Oh, so it's just
got like 2 lines in it.
No, what I'm saying is if you refresh,
like if I go over here,
no, it is task app.
There's see, like it's able to send, but it's not subscribed or it's not
Let's look
like when I refresh,
I guess
it's good, right? Where's my private browser? I lost it. Did I close it? I think I did. Oh, it's different. Yeah. So yeah, this isn't subscribed. I can add stuff, but it's not subscribed at the moment or something. Does it have to be subscribed to add? Because I thought subscription is just a view, right? Like it's viewing it.
Yeah. If you do use table, it should download the whole table for you, no matter what, and just give it to you. That's
I starved to death in Bitcraft.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. So if I refresh, it'll work. So maybe it's something to do in here, the actual task list itself.
Let's take a look. I mean, use table. You are double subscribing for what that's worth. Can you print tasks instead of console log use table?
Oh.
Not that that should be a problem, but it is true.
Which okay, yes,
just put in tasks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, pro tip: if you put it in curly braces, it'll print the name and then the object, because it's an object that
like this.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Maybe it's too bad of a idea.
Sure.
That was just for testing anyway, right?
Yeah, and then let's try this again. We'll see what it does. Dobo says,
"We'll have to do it."
Losing the subscriptions on a re-render or something like that. That would be very strange. Yeah. It's almost like you have an old version, because I fixed some of these problems. It's almost like you have an old version of the.
Now refreshing it will subscribe, unless I do. I'd have to do a new tab again.
What on earth?
No, Dwarf, I don't play Bitcraft. I experience Bitcraft.
What level scholar are you?
I'm not even 100 yet. It's so slow. I'm like 90, 94.
Yeah, you're more than halfway there.
93. I'm literally on the halfway. Like I know halfway is like here, right? So
yeah. Who's the top ranked scholar?
Wiz? If not Wiz, someone else. But like, I think it's Wiz.
We're gonna find out. I pulled it up. Well, I pulled up BitCheetah. You know, I was talking to Hilmar, who is the CEO of EVE Online, and I was like, "Yeah, these people made this thing called BitCheetah," and he's like, "BitCheetah? Where'd they get the name from?" I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "It's EVE Online."
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
"Oh,
EVE Online."
I'm a doofus. I'm an idiot." So he was like,
That's funny. He's like, surprise, the players will always, like that's one thing that I think Andrew Garrett didn't quite understand about some kind of stuff. Like the players, like you might have this kind of expectation for what the player is going to do and how they're going to play the game, but death of the author is real in video games. They're going to play it in a completely different way, 100%.
For sure.
So when he did certain design things, I don't think that was under kind of purview. So like he hit the total experience at one point.
Gotcha.
And it's like everyone just started figuring out and building tables to figure out the total experience themselves.
And that's what happened.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's people are going to do what they are physically able to do. BitCheetah is very cool for what it's worth.
Oh, yeah. I think, all right, so on re-render, it works. That's whatever. We'll come back to that, I guess. Maybe it's a version issue. But this chat thing. So now if I think we have the same problem, and I have this all the time. In that I get very easily distracted, and I suspect that you have the same problem.
Yeah, I think
so. We're never going to get anywhere.
No, but it's a fun conversation. I would love to like deploy this app somehow, and then you and I could chat through your chat app.
Oh yeah, we could probably deploy it into the database, right?
Well, but I mean like the UI
into
so that I could run it.
That's the wrong one.
I could run your app on my
and
computer.
Then...
Oh, it's upside down. Right? Test 2 went at the top right there.
Yeah, I wanted to because oh yeah, I guess traditionally it is obviously at the bottom first, but the way I did ask it to do this.
Oh.
And there was a reason. Because the tabs will be up here.
Oh, which
so tabs? You'll like click on chat, global, guild, private will be here. So you read it like this, which
it's also you could still have that and have it be inverted, like the messages go the other way, right?
Yeah, you could. Anyway, we can fix it. It's also Australia, as Leia says, it's an Australian app.
It's an Australian chat. That's a great point.
But it's working exactly as intended. It's even got the different colors for the different uses, which is cool.
Yeah, that is fun. If you use will it interleave the messages if they're like you do one of one and then one of the other person? Is it doing that correctly? I think it's maybe sorting by user. Am I wrong? No, I might be wrong.
No. It's all good. It's by timestamp.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Actually perfect in one prompt.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. A little concerning. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna go towards here in the world, but it's getting crazy.
Yeah. I think you made a tweet recently about like how you have like deploying shit's really fast now, but you think like handmade apps are still going to be really important or something. I think you were mentioning.
Well, they are. I mean, I did mention something to the effect of this, which is basically like the problem is I really don't know where AI is going to go. In principle, like there's nothing physically preventing someone from creating an AI that is just better than me at writing code in every way. LLMs are not that thing. I don't think that they are capable of being that thing. I am not certain about that. The context thing is a real stinker, because you can't get enough context into these things for it to do what I do in my job.
Yeah. in your brain hole.
Yes,
Got too
correct.
much context up here. Yeah.
I do. But it can do a lot, and I have to say, it's doing a lot of. I think it will make the quality of software higher because it's going to do a lot of the stuff that people just never get to. That long tail of P3 tickets, like priority 3, low priority tickets, that are actually not that hard to do, but like just take a lot of someone's time. If I can just be like, hey, just look at my repo and just constantly be making it slightly better, and I'll review them. That's
In
obviously possible. Yeah.
as the owner of a larger software company,
Mm-hmm.
Do you worry that your more junior techs will create code with AI, not have a full understanding of it, and then you have your senior techs review it with AI, and so now you're getting to the point where no one really understands it, and then that times exponentially by 100 times, you start losing your code base.
Um, I can imagine a company where it would be happening. We do not have that problem at all, really. I would say that the Bitcraft team probably doesn't use AI as much as it perhaps could. I would say, and then the SpacetimeDB team kind of can't. We try, but it doesn't work, and so we have to do more of it ourselves than I think it would be good. And I would also say, like,
Do you think this message here is kind of why as well? LMs can't solve problems that haven't been solved before.
I don't believe, based on a lecture that I heard Jeffrey Hinton give, who, if you're not familiar, is one of the founders of deep learning. Um, I'm not sure that that is true.
Okay.
Like, I don't think that's a necessarily proven to be a fundamental limitation. For example, I think it's possible to take two documents. Like, let's just do this in the abstract. Let's say I trained an LLM on two giant documents, both of which were written by separate societies. So one society created one document and another society created another document. They are about different things, but they share some like key ideas or things. By reading both of them, you may be able to have a key insight about how these two things are related in some way that neither society individually has had. And
so like laws and stuff is a good example.
Yeah, laws, or even
most
like
around the world, like laws and stuff like that have been 10 commandments, laws, whatever.
Sure.
It has always been throughout culture. It's quite similar, even though they might not be literally the same.
Yes, I guess what I'm saying is, like, let's imagine that you had I'll give you a concrete example. Let's say you had the Greeks and they invented geometry, and then you had some other society and they invented like number theory. So not geometry or not number theory. By reading all of the works about number theory and all of the works about geometry together, you could understand that you could come up with an insight that is greater than the sum of their parts. A third thing that's you only realize because you read both documents.
Right.
And I think that LLMs are capable of doing that. And in fact, what Jeffrey Hinton was saying essentially is that, like a good example is, you can actually train an LLM, like, so for example, or not an LLM, in this case it was an image model, on partially mislabeled data. So you'd have a picture of a cat and you'd say it was a dog. And it will eventually learn that that is a cat and that it is mislabeled. So it will start doing it correct, even though it was trained on garbage data. It will correctly, if you take that same image, and you try it again, it will correctly fix it because it's like understanding the concept of a cat. Because most of the things that it looked at that were cats were labeled correctly. Right. And so I am not so convinced of the argument that they are just like outputters of previously written code, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And I guess that's where the argument comes into, like, particularly when it gets into art, which not a fan of it for art, but this is where the context is like, is AI stealing art or is it generating new art? And it's like,
Yeah,
well, if you look at the Ghibli stuff, it all looks like Ghibli. It's just obviously replicating Ghibli.
it is.
But you can direct using prompt engineering to get it to air quote new art, but is it actually new or is it stolen? That's where a lot of the ethicsy kind of stuff comes into play.
It does.
And the argument between the two, where you're saying it is effectively new if it goes far away from the original context.
Well,
Source context.
I don't know. I guess I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's not stealing art. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's not stealing code, actually. But I do think in programming, it's such a slog to make these applications that all programmers are like, okay, just whatever, just give it. Just I know you trained it on all my open source code, but I don't care. I want to make an infinite amount of code, so just keep going.
Yeah.
Whereas I think art is a little bit more subjective. And
yes, I was just using art as an extreme example. But to bring it back to the code.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I think the thing about code as well is that 99% of users don't care as long as it works. I like half the people who play Bitcraft don't even know what SpacetimeDB is.
I would say more than half, probably.
Yeah, so they don't have that context. They just want to play the game and run it.
They do, and ultimately that's what it is about. Yeah. And I think what you're actually going to see, no matter whether we will it or not, is that AI is going to make it more accessible for a smaller team to build bigger games. And that what you're going to see is that...
Like I can, even from my context, I can build this, like I can build a much bigger game
than you would
I would normally be able to do.
Correct.
Just increase, basically I can increase the scope and my output.
Correct. So I think what the real situation is, people do not like the idea of a big company firing a bunch of people and replacing them with AI. Totally makes sense. And they think then therefore they don't like AI. But I suspect, and this is a hypothesis, that if a really good game were to come along, which was made by a solo dev who used a lot of AI, they wouldn't really care. They'd play the fun game and they just have fun playing the game, because ultimately it's about a fun game. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for society, but I think that is what will happen. Like if Clair Obscur was made, or was only able to be made because a solo dev made it with AI, and this is not a good analogy, but you get the idea.
Does it make it any less deserving of all the awards and stuff like that it got?
Yeah, maybe it does make it less deserving, but I still think people will play the crap out of it. A lot of people will buy it. It's a good game, right? It's a good game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think AI could build Clair Obscur, to be clear. But
no. Just like in fantasy world.
Yes, and I think a good example of this actually is what is the name of the AI VTuber? Neuro.
Neuro. Yeah, Neuro. Yeah.
Where people who don't like AI like her because a lot of effort and sort of like they just like the product ultimately. Yeah. So they're fine.
Yeah. But so I'll bringing it back. You're not worried about, because I know I have read this in like various forums and stuff like that where you get these YouTubers who just publishing code that they're not. You think that maybe it's just a process issue?
I think
you guys don't use too much AI, but if you think with strict processes, you can eliminate that issue while probably not even reducing the amount of staff that you have, but just increasing the effectiveness of the staff.
So I think one of two things are true. Either it's a process issue, either AI advances slower or slowly, in which case it's a process issue and like, hey, this thing is unreliable. Don't let it just hammer away on your code. That's ridiculous. And you should have processes to prevent that from happening. Or AI moves a lot faster, in which case, it's going to be better than all the engineers I have, including myself. So yeah, just let it hammer away. It's not going to make the mistakes that I would make. But there's security concerns there. You don't want to let somebody else write your code for you because they might have maliciously done it differently. So those are the two scenarios basically. And neither of them are disastrous. Well, it's better than everyone at writing code. We'll see how that goes. But as of right now, it's not on the horizon.
Yeah, but at Clockwork Labs, you guys don't have that issue because you just don't really use too much of it.
Correct. And we review every
Yeah.
PR, and we have testing that goes through every PR. I do not see people
Mhm.
submitting code that they have not read, and I don't see people
Okay.
submitting code, approving code
Yeah.
that they
So
have not
company
read.
culture also has a massive, massive impact on it.
Yes, and it's the type of
Yeah.
code. Like, let me put it this way. Also, if you're working on a website and you're doing CSS, and people are like scanning the CSS vaguely, and they're like, "Yeah, this looks generally okay." Who cares? It's like what you said
Yeah.
with the UI.
CSS is fuck. I don't
Who
care, man.
who literally cares?
I
As
don't
long as it
care.
looks
Someone
good.
goes in and sees
Yeah.
like, oh my, like I read the CSS and it looks like garbage and your comments suck and this.
Right.
Fuck yourself. Get off my product.
Exactly. But now, if you're working on like the authentication mechanism for the SpacetimeDB website, yeah, you're gonna have to take a moment, and you're gonna have to make
Yes.
sure that it's right.
Okay. Yes. Context is important too.
Yeah,
Cool.
so,
all right. I can appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm very middle lane. I think that the companies standing up there and generating billions of dollars by saying AI in their conferences or to their stakeholders is ridiculous. But I also think that if you say like, oh, you know, my little indie game, I don't touch AI and you should buy my game because I don't use AI, I think that's also cringe. I think that like just it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's also still a market for, like, hey, this is my, I I'm gonna buy this thing. It's like how people like to buy handmade items. They like the story behind the product, and they
Mhm.
like that it was made by a solo dev. There's going to be a market for that always. But it's also true that there's going to be a market for really, really good games that were made with AI. I think that that's
Right.
obviously true.
Lux, are you gonna point out what you think is wrong, or you just hear words and then you're just gonna say I'm wrong? This is a banter. Don't mind anything that this person says. So the chat works.
Chat just worked.
Where? Let's see.
If you want to actually let me onto your repo, questionable choice, but if you do, I would like to investigate that task app.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think once I actually start deploying the game itself, I'll probably end up changing the repo, but I can do that. Give me a second. Let's do it on the other screen.
Also, how is the city going? Dragon's Head.
Good. Slowed down. The game's slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
As most of us have hit kind of our objectives, and a lot of us are waiting for 1.0. I had some questions that people wanted to ask regarding that.
Sure.
I can't check right now though. Oh, someone wanted to ask what you thought a really good. Someone asked what your favorite cities are, but I suspect you haven't played much Bitcraft to know the answer to that.
I think
that you.
I've been slogging on SpacetimeDB.
I think that you might be able to answer this, and what you look for in a cool city in Bitcraft, or what you think, or your idea of a cool city is in Bitcraft.
That's an interesting question. I like, obviously, people who put a lot of work into paving in the roads. I, as people may know, am especially interested in the road building of Bitcraft because something about changing the world to make it more habitable or something makes it more appealing to me. So I think people who put a lot of work into the roads. I also like multi-leveled cities and ones that are in interesting biomes. Not to say biomes, but like interesting terrain, I guess I'll say.
Right.
That makes me happy. And then I will also say that people have done incredible things with the decorations that I would never have imagined. And that is
even I think it might have been Lucia. I'm not sure who did it, but the Christmas city you guys did.
Yeah,
was really cool.
So I mean, we have an amazing employee who did all of that stuff basically by herself, and did an excellent job. So she's really, really, really good. Props to her for sure. I don't know if she would want me to say her name on stream, but
I agree. I'm not like super creative in this kind of thing, in this kind of
Mhm.
context. But I like I've said, I've seen, like you said, I've seen a lot of really cool designs and interesting ways people have used the decorations,
Well, I think Dragon's
which I
Head
think
looks
is like,
great.
it's just,
Don't
this
you
is so
think?
much work.
It is.
I might be just used to it. Maybe I'm just used to it, but yeah, I like it. It's been a
But
collaborative effort.
okay, did you do the layout of the? How does actually in practice? How have you seen city layout designing works? Is
Ours
it
is very different because most people have a lot of space and we do not, because we're
okay?
on an isthmus, right? So right here,
Right, you're just in
this is where the
between them.
claim token is, and this is like the bridge to the city, and
Right.
this is everything. And this is why it's called Dragon's Head, by the way.
Because it's Dragon's Head. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's on the dragon's knob, but it's the Dragon's Head. So this gave us a really interesting. It forces our design to be a little bit more constrained. Whereas if you go to most cities, they actually spread out, right? If you go to down here to Jerusalem, which is Jerud city, it's like a lot of them spread out. They don't look all the same, obviously, but ours is just forced to be different because of that.
It reminds me a little bit of like San Francisco, which is kind of stuck out on a peninsula, and they've got the space they've got, and that's all.
Yeah.
What is up towards the actual Dragon's Head these days?
So we go up here. We actually use those big walls. Now that we actually have more space over there, we actually deployed the big walls. I just deployed the rig. It wasn't actually on the cloud, so I've just deployed it. I'll share with you in a second. Is there a way I can?
Oh, hello, Pumpkin.
Yes, I put Pumpkin on.
No, he was in real life
today.
on my face.
So yeah, we got these. We have like the foundry for the capsules over there, and this is the masons area. They built all the walls, so they deserve it.
And where are you
kind of get
map?
more. I'm going more north towards this.
I mean, like, can you zoom
there,
out?
and then.
Oh yeah, there we go. Sorry.
And then these are these are just smaller claims.
Okay, I would still say you're in the dragon's chest, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like small independent claims up here.
Gotcha.
Basically, there's Dragon's Maw over there. That's our blacksmith who owns that. I think there might be a cave there or something. This is just a random. That's a random, but they named it Dragon's Neck. No one we know, but they named it Dragon's Neck. We don't own this or anything like that, which is pretty cool.
Interesting. That's fun.
We have Dragon's Booty, Dragon's Belly. There's all sorts of Dragon's Forestry, Dragon's Park. I don't know a lot of these. Like this one's a line. This one's random.
Interesting.
It's so funny, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I wish you could see the roads on the map. And you kind of used to, but
you can now.
Did we add that?
Or you saying, not you did, not you.
Yeah. I know, but like, I wish you could see them in the map of the game. But let's look at them because it's really cool.
Give it a second. There's a few roads. There you go.
Yeah,
roads.
That's so cool.
We'll slap on claims too, but there you go. Yeah, ours is like you can see the density, the population density.
It's very
right,
cool.
and then you go down here and you can kind of and if you look real. By the way, you need to get the ability to do roads here. My recommendation is something like have you played Death Stranding?
I played the first one briefly. You could put like ladders down. I remember that.
Okay, so in Death Stranding, what happens is there's these nodes where everyone can contribute resources, just generic resources, and it actually builds pre-made highways. So if you don't want people to be able to automatically put their own roads, you have pre-made ones, you allocate resource to it, and then it builds it for you. Then people can build off of them.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So maybe we do
that
like
way you
some
don't have the
pattern.
griefing issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could also allow you to build through the like not next to the town, but through the grasslands.
But then again, like I was saying, you have like you might have griefing in that way. I think having predefined roads that people can connect off isn't too bad.
That's not too bad.
Because you're getting a lot of new players who new players, they end up here and they don't look outwards because they don't really have a literal direction to go. Whereas I think what you want is you want a new player to log in, see a road, fuck it, let's go that way, and then see what happens.
Definitely. I think
I
agree.
Over here, you can see some creations. Like, does this look familiar?
I have seen them. I have seen all of these, and it's amazing. We're gonna get a copyright strike. No, I'm just kidding.
By the way, someone did a print, so I just have to
These are
change over here
outrageous.
for a second.
Oh yeah, this will be good.
What is this? This is Tachi_dev sent this reach. Pin it, pin it, pin it, pin it.
Getting a pin
it. 100% pin it. I think I need to. Where's my scissors? 1 second. I'm just gonna get rid of the white space here. Do a little bit of arts and crafts.
It's a good question.
And we're gonna pin this guy up, whatever it is. Yeah, we're just gonna keep pinning up stuff until we run out of space. And then we'll just keep going until it falls off the wall. Perfect. Hold on. Oh, we have more cats. Hi, is this your cat? This is just gonna be the wall of cats.
As well, it should be.
I should have I had no idea how people were gonna this. This is the kind of thing, death of the author, right? I thought people would like put up memes or something like that, but no, it's literally just pets. It's literally just people's pets every single time, and legally I can't bin them because I think if I put someone's pet in the shredder, I would get canceled on my second day. Pin it next to the creepy one. We'll share it in.
What time is it there?
Oh no, I lost it. Eyes cat. Sorry, important.
Very important. What time is it where you are?
Yeah, 11 a.m. So I got all day, baby.
Wow.
So yeah, this road stuff is freaking awesome.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
That's
As long as your game doesn't crash. If you start adding if you start running roads on the map, I mean that whatever it is laggy as hell. So adding roads might shit the bed a bit. I'm not.
Maybe I don't actually know. It's too far.
Is that a Garrett? Look at this Garretus.
Oh my god! Wow. Should we just add Pokemon to Bitcraft? And by that I mean not Pokemon.
Add go have a partnership with what's the
Pal World people maybe.
Pal World, yeah. Like just have a. If you do a collab with Pal World with pals, is that like if they're not getting in trouble, they got a little bit of trouble, but like not all the trouble. You might get a target on your back.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind a target.
Where's Aquila? Someone was saying it looks weird.
Can I also say it's incredible what some people have built?
Yeah.
On Bitcraft, like this is dedication.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. Yeah. Let's
Very cool.
bring you back on. Someone, Lanny's. You're one of your mods. Yeah, so the only problem with our claim at the moment is because of our constrained space, which makes, like you said, it really gives that organic kind of, we set up here and then we kind of grew too big for our bridges kind of thing, like a lot of modern cities. A lot of modern cities have that kind of feel. These giant walls don't fit at all. Like, you just can't fit them at our entrance because our entrance is literally, look, it's literally this big. This is the thinnest part of our claim. It's this wide. For one of the largest claims in the game, we have this much space to work with.
Yeah, that is tiny. It's a cool gate.
Without tearing the whole thing down. Yeah. Without tearing the whole thing down. Yeah. While we're on Bitcraft, I had one question I wanted to ask. How are you feeling about the microtransactions and how is that going? And would you change anything the way that you did them?
In general, or what specific? Can I get a more specific question?
Let me check. I have to click off this, which will break it for a second. But what lessons have you learned from the introduction of premium items? So, like, do you find the balance between character versus group? Focus cosmetics reflect the people's demands? That kind of stuff.
I guess the first thing I would say is something just to keep in mind for people is that the whole point of it being in early access and having it still, be paid and so on, is that we are learning, and it's meant to be an experiment. Things that we have learned, it's hard to say because one thing you learn is that we really would need a free-to-play game to make enough money on cosmetics, because the way it works is like if you have a paid game, you're gonna have 10x less users than you might otherwise if it was free. But if it's free, then you can sort of make that back on volume, essentially, is the idea that sort of you've been able to do that. I would say that it's been a little tricky to keep the this isn't really cosmetic. I guess it is, but the Empire stuff completely separate from the town stuff that really constrains our design quite a bit. But I also think it's important. So there's a question of like, you could make, there's two options. You could make towns sort of more related to empires, in which case the pay to win might leak into town stuff a little bit. Or you could say, well, let's remove some of the pay to win from empires, or a combination of the two. And then on the cosmetic side of things, we're still really learning. I'd say it's pretty early days. We've seen people people really liked Pumpkin. They like building tiles. I think one thing that's quite useful for us as a style of cosmetic is things where you can buy one and place it in the world. So like the banners, because it's purely cosmetic and it's just up for people to do, but they can buy a bunch if they want to make their thing cool. And so that's very helpful for us.
I would say that if I don't want to influence the game too much, I really don't.
Sure.
That's not where I'm at. That's not what I want. A lot of people think that I want to do that, or a lot of people think that creators have too much influence on the game. I'm just talking from the context of a player.
Sure.
And my context is a little bit different because we obviously have the Empire and stuff like that, which is fine. But everyone else's important is just as equally as important, in my opinion. But I think that a lot of people are becoming more jaded with the Empire system. So if it is constraining your design, it may not be necessarily a bad thing to pull it away from it, because I know that you have your three separate layers: your character, your settlement, and your empire, but they are intrinsically linked. Right? You cannot have a claim without players,
right? And
you cannot have an empire without a claim. So as much as you want to separate them, they are intrinsically linked.
They are. Yes, I think the thing to know about the free-to-play model in general is there are only two ways it can work. And maybe that means, So let me go through those first. So there's two ways it can work. One is like a
Yeah.
volume play, and I would say that's like League of Legends, where they have
Yeah.
a lot of CCU, like millions of people.
And tons of people play it for free.
And tons of
Well,
people,
I would say
most
Dota
people
2 is a better example because Dota 2 is literally, you don't even have to unlock characters, right? League, you have to buy characters. Dota 2, you log in,
Sure.
it's 100% free.
But what I'm saying is that this is a separate thing. It's like all the players, I mean, a lot of them play for free, but basically it's more democratized. More players, let's say 50, I'm going to make up a number, this is wrong. But let's say in League of Legends, they have a huge amount of players and 10% of them buy stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't buy a lot of stuff. They pay between like $5 and $10. The other way that free to play can work is more like the mobile game type situation, which is that most people don't pay. They just enjoy the game for free. Some people pay a little, and then a very small number of people pay a lot of money. And they might do that for many reasons. Some of them might be just, hey, this is what my hobby is, and this is what I spend money on. And you would be surprised at how much money people have and people do spend.
Yes. Yeah. I look into, I enjoy the talking about and the business. I enjoy the business side of development. So the game development. So I do a lot of research on this kind of stuff. So I understand all that.
So those are the two ways. And so, and then the third way is like, hey, well, it's just not free to play. And we will charge a subscription or charge whatever. I think it's important for it to be free to play for the same reason I wrote the blog post back when, which is
everyone. I don't know anyone who disagrees that it shouldn't be free to play. 100%. It's obviously just how you manage it.
It does, and I mean,
and if you don't want to have this conversation, I get that it's putting you on the spot. So I mean, I don't want to give anyone like any false pretenses or anything like that. Yeah.
I mean, I am happy to explain the logic. I'm not going to say, I guess, which direction we're going. And I don't know 1,000% which direction is the best. I am saying that those are the things that we have to consider. So basically, if you're not free to play, you're going to have, let's use an analogy. Basically, we'll use some numbers. So if you're not free to play, let's say you have 100 users, going free to play would give you 1,000 users. If you can get like a large percentage of those people to pay a little bit of money, you're good. Or a small percentage to pay a lot of money, you're good.
Yeah. But the difference, and then that difference would be like, you know, if you have 100 users pay $100 or 1,000 users pay $10, you get roughly the same amount.
Roughly the same amount of money. And in no world does it make sense really to have in-app purchases and for it to be pay to play. I don't understand why companies do that because it doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess like large franchises that know they're going to get a certain number of units maybe do it anyway. But like, you know, if like I don't play Call of Duty, but let's say Call of Duty or something has microtransactions. That's a bit silly. You might as well make it free because that's the whole point, is that you're getting more people into the game.
Pretty much every like even our creators and all that stuff, they all have battle passes and in-game cosmetics now.
Exactly. But like, why sell it then? Because actually you want to make money once people enjoy the game. I think that there can be performance things. Like you can imagine server costs, like the server economics of running servers requires that you don't let a whole bunch of free people play for free because it will sort of the per unit cost is too expensive to maintain. So you can imagine like a very intensive shooter or something being difficult to do. But
there's obviously live services comes into play as well, where I know Lux is saying here games should make just like $8, but you can't just do that because you would always need to be generating new users constantly buying the game and stuff like that, which for a live service game, eventually you'll run out of capacity.
Yes.
There's only so many people who will learn about it. There's only so many people who play it. The market is only so big. Unless you're Minecraft, where your market is literal children who are going to buy into the game as they get older, you can't just sustain yourself on that.
That's funny. The $5 thing. That is true. I will say this about that. So I think Bigcraft should be a free-to-play game. That would be better because the larger community in Bigcraft is just better for the game. Like the bigger the community is, the better it is. And so therefore, I think it makes more sense to have a volume type play where like, hey, let's get as many people to play it as possible. However, the challenge, especially with our type of game and games like, for example, RuneScape, bots. So it is very nice
Yes.
to slap like a $6.99, $7.99 price on it, just so that somebody can't go out and more easily bot. That's actually
Yeah.
not really about making money, and it kind of hurts you because it means people who just want to play your game for free can't. But it does solve largely the bot problem. So that's something to consider. And there's a lot of
It's always funny to me. A little sidetrack, but it's always funny to me when you go on forums and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, Jackass do nothing about bots because they pay subscriptions. They're not like, there's not this like conglomerate, this evil board. They're like, oh yeah, let's let 10% of the bots in so we get their subs. Nobody is doing that. Final Fantasy isn't doing it. WoW isn't doing it. RuneScape isn't doing it. They're not doing that. I think it's a ridiculous pretense.
Well, I think it would hurt their business to do it, right? Because they
it hurts their business and brand way more than you get like
the benefit from
the 10 subs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. I mean, if it helped their business, they would have like a bot tier and they would have a bulk discount, right? Like that's what you would see them doing. So, and they don't do that because obviously it's not wise. So that's one of the things to keep in mind.
Yeah. And then we get, okay, so, and just quickly, have you thought about free to play with restrictions until subscription or buy the game?
We have thought about that. I was always kind of resistant to that because I find that that's sort of very often another sort of pay for convenience type situation where like,
I think Elder Scrolls Online is a really good example of it because Elder Scrolls Online is free, but there are so many issues with that game and item management and just playing the game and enjoying the game unless you pay their subscription.
Yes. And so I don't love that, but I also think it's like, it is a valid way to do it. I mean, RuneScape is the same, right? RuneScape is, you get a demo of the game and then you can pay for the game, right? The real game is members. So, I mean, I don't know, it works and I think people like it. If we could avoid doing it, I think I would rather have the League of Legends approach where it's just,
yes,
if I could just pick one and manifest it into the world, I would pick that one. Because that's like, and nobody's upset with League of Legends skins. Like, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there are people out there that are. I am not.
They recently did like $300 skins or something like that. That's where people are getting upset. But then again, they made them because people sell. Yeah, but people are buying them.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't blame companies for making a $300 skin if they're making money off of it.
Exactly. Like, but also, why be upset about them doing it? Because you don't have to buy it. It actually impacts your ability to play the game $0, like 0%. Is just completely unrelated. So I don't understand being upset about that. I guess it's because like, oh, it's something that I can't have that other people can have. But that's just like what money is. Like that's I
think people are just more upset about the anti-consumer practice is what they kind of feel about it. Because like I'll pay for a $20 skin, but then releasing a $500 skin seems like it's so outside of the realm of, it's just like, oh wow, these they're just chasing profit and money.
I guess, but if you go to a restaurant, right, and there's a $20 wine and a $3,000 wine, is that anti-consumer? I don't think people would say that. I think they would say like, oh, that's for rich people to waste their money on, which is the same for skins. Or spend as they like. So
yeah, I understand the perspective of both. I try to understand the perspective of both sides. I do get it. Yeah.
Like ZG Delivery Guy, it's not anti-consumer, it's just offering a luxury option. I think people feel they're compelled to buy it. And I can certainly see that's the case if it gives you any benefit in the game. Like, oh, yes, if my MMR is higher in League of Legends because I have the whatever deluxe $500 skin, I don't think it's good for Riot because it just means like the ranking is fake and everything's fake. But B, I can definitely see that being anti-consumer because like, oh, you have to ransom. Like, I don't know, it's just bad. It's just bad game design. It's bad everything.
Yeah. So bringing it back to Bitcraft, your plan, or what if you could manifest it, free to play, Now, we were talking about the Empire system as well.
Yeah.
You seem to be leaning towards the fact that you suspect that the Empire system may generate a few whales, which will help fund the game. And that's why you think that that's an effective approach.
Okay, go ahead.
Or maybe it has been an effective approach. I don't know.
Is there a question?
No, sorry. Okay, so that's where we're at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of the player base, from my experience, is getting a little bit jaded with the Empire system.
Right.
So if we pull back from that more whale approach, and then how it maybe have the cosmetics been performing with the outfits and stuff like that, the more character-based stuff or claim-based stuff where you can build new unique houses, or the, like you said, the golden tiles and that kind of stuff. That's part of the Empire system, but not necessarily the map stuff. It's just like, oh, cool cosmetics for my empire, my guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without getting into the map stuff that everyone's getting jaded by, do you think that would be just like enough to sustain or to for Bitcraft?
Right?
Right?
The jury is.
Because you're saying that the Empire system is causing constraints within design. So if we pull back a little bit,
well, it's more like could the Empire be a different game if we changed it? I mean, like, could we do different things? It's like, yes, potentially. It's a thing we would consider. The thing is, we would obviously not do it. I don't necessarily mean, I think that means it will make a better game also. I don't, it's like, oh, we would make a better game, but we have to make money. I don't think that's what we're thinking. And if we were to determine like, oh, it would make it a better game, we would just do it, because that would mean we have more players, and more players means we have more money. So it's the same. But I do think that it is not clear at this moment whether the better strategy is to go for, like, let's say, the more League of Legends, like everybody's gonna chip in $3, or actually a major component of the revenue is because people are really invested in one system and they want to make sure that their name is on the map and they really care about that. It's like,
okay, so you still have ideas and the data is not clear in terms of where it's
I would
at, right?
say that, yes. I mean, I think the Empire system is not even really tested to the degree that it's just not as fun as it could be. It's to say nothing about the model. Keep the model exactly the same as it is. I think it could be much more rewarding and fun. I mean, just a quick pass at it would be like the fact that even the borders, like the border shape, is not very satisfying because you have to deal with all these blocky chunks and things. If it could be more sort of interactive and strategic, I think it could be just a more fun system.
Yeah, and then for that, you need to figure out if you're going to have them more linked with the claim or less.
Correct.
To figure out the direction that you want to go with.
Yes. Yeah, vaguely, yes. I mean, or the same.
Yeah.
Right. Linked with the claim.
Or the same. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what would you like? Let's put aside the monetary, or I should say, like the business strategic thing for Bitcraft. What's the game that you want to play? If you could change it however you want to change it.
I think there is a potential conflict of interest with the kind of gameplay that the Empire system is trying to evoke, and the type of game that Bitcraft attracts players who want to play Bitcraft is attracted, like they're attracted to, right? The type of audience that Bitcraft is attracting. Not a lot of them, if they wanted more of a PvP based thing, they would just go play Albion, right? Because Albion has a lot of shared systems, your crafting, your progression, your tools, this and that, right? But if they wanted more of a PvP experience, there's other games that offer that. Whereas Bitcraft offers a very tight crafting production line experience. And then you have this weird Empire system tacked on, which has, in my experience, only caused conflict that wasn't fun.
So
Does that
that's
make
a
sense?
critique of the existing system. What I am asking is,
Right.
what would you like if you could
Okay.
just wave a magic wand?
Thinking on it now, um, instead of territory wars, instead maybe more of a guild-like system where you could have claims and outposts attached to the empire,
Mhm.
like with alignments and stuff like that. And then the totality maybe of the claims themselves, of your guild, is, and then would be the crown or the rank and the spaces in the empire, as well as um the flags on, the flags around here, this kind of thing, like the designation or the allegiance, right?
Do
The
you?
capes,
Yeah,
this and
yeah.
that.
You can just choose it freely, and it's just your who you want to align with.
Yeah.
Would you have territory that you capture?
I don't know how I feel about the territory system.
So you just wouldn't maybe have it at all.
Maybe I like the idea of it, maybe, but I just think I can't think of a way of execution that isn't just going to be frustrating, because I think like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't do anything, like Lux is saying. Obviously, it's the print on the map, which it's fine. You don't want it to do anything because you don't want people to get these.
In the
You don't want it
existing
to be pay to
constraint
win.
system, we don't want it to do anything. But we're doing your
Yeah,
fantasy game, in a
yeah.
way, so
Um,
it could do something.
like when it comes to border conflict, you could have, maybe you'd have like actual PvP, but in that case, it would need to be scheduled, kind of like EVE Online does it, right? EVE Online has
Sure.
territory wars, and then they schedule the fights in.
Don't you think that's
That
an
kind of thing.
equivalent amount of drama and problems?
Well, it eliminates some of the issues,
Mhm.
but like that's what I mean. Like if you have, it eliminates some of the issues with the tower stuff. But yeah, I think Empire territory does cause drama, 100%.
I mean, it certainly does.
It,
It was always intended to, in a way. I mean, I think it's a question of whether or not it's fun or not.
which is
And
which is fine for people who want that in this game. But this, like, literally, if I go to the Steam page, it talks about how this is a comfy crafting simulator, right? Cozy,
yeah.
community first focus, right? The
Right.
literal first word in here is cozy. The first verb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or adjective is cozy. But then you log in and you have this air quote pay to win empire system.
Well, hold on, but take a look at that Steam page. At least as far as I wrote that Steam page,
Yeah.
it has other things, right? And so I think another key aspect of it would be, for example, make an impact, which is further up.
Yeah.
Your chance to have a lasting legacy in the world. I think the challenge, the thing is about the world is it is a world. There is territory. People exist in places in the world. They want to be able to call a place their own.
Yeah.
I think people are going to want to put their name in some form on the map or in a statue or whatever the case may be. And I think regardless of the mechanism, you will still have people arguing over territory. I maybe I'm wrong about that. I believe that is true. In the very same way that we have the same situation happen in the real world. I think perhaps there's a better way that we could resolve some of the conflict. For example, maybe it's less winner take all. So instead of it being, hey, I'm going to muscle you out, why don't you just become under the umbrella of my thing? So a sort of a vassal state. That gives people a way a way out, right? So they don't have to be like, oh, I just lose here. I lose because there's a bigger fish. But rather, no, now we're on the same team. I played a game. This is a random aside. When I went to college, we played a game. It was a rocks, paper, scissors game. So this is like a part of the orientation. They put everybody in a giant auditorium and they broke you up into groups of two. And you played a game of rocks, paper, scissors. And then if you lost, the requirement was that you become the person you lost to's biggest fan. And then if they lost, you would become the person they lost to's biggest fan, if that makes any sense. That was very fun because you just sort of, it's random teams. I mean, I don't know that it would work in this instance, but it would give you a way to say like, you know what, I didn't lose here. We just teamed up, and I don't know. Maybe that would still have the same drama and it would still be a problem. But I do wonder if it's possible to avoid that in a land-based territory game. Curious to know your thoughts.
I think that I still think that ultimately, well, like, okay, in this context, like a lot of people who want territory, and I know there's like one guy, like there's a couple of guys trying to grab Toad stuff because we have so much of it.
Right.
Probably should release some of it. Is because they want a shiny crown. So like then if you have this vassalization, maybe you don't have the shiny crown. You know what I mean?
Yes. You mean you get you get a crown, but not the shiny one.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the cool one, right? And that's like what you're saying is like,
could be.
Yeah. What if?
Tough.
Hold on.
Sure.
What if there was? You want it to be player built though. You wouldn't. No, you wanted it to be player built. What if there's NPC factions and people can align themselves to that? Maybe a set amount, and then people could if they wanted to engage in PvP warplay, they could do it within the context of a PV, like a
you could do that
ownerless faction.
But the premise of your argument, and I think it's a good one, is that that's not the audience that we attract. So that's like, okay, we're building a feature in for people who are not part of our audience. Whereas what I'm trying to do is say, how do I make territory, which is fundamental to to land?
What if there was what if there was a continent where this was on and then the rest of them they were off? So people could basically opt in.
That's a potential. Yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting idea, I would say. I mean, Zurich brings up a good point as well, which is I would prefer to have land-based events that bring people together as a community, which I also think is a good idea. I don't know that that's mutually exclusive with this, but I think that's a good thought.
Yeah.
So I think there are ways out of this. I don't know that. I don't know. I mean, it could be. Maybe just removing all of it from the map. Nobody gets on the name of the map. No ego stuff. But I think that makes it a worse game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I think the fact that you were able to brand this region of the world as the Ottoman Empire and make Dragon's Head and sort of all the memes they're from my perspective, it seems like it makes it a more lively game.
The challenging...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The challenging thing is like, yes, that's cool. And I don't mind that. I don't mind having the segment of the land, but you literally cannot have the segment of the land without a way to resolve owning it and like conflict between it, right?
It's true, but don't you think
so it's like if you like this thing, but I don't like this thing, and they're at odds. It sucks.
Don't you think it'd be lamer if it was like, oh, cool, I can join the Rumba region, or I can join?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool.
That makes sense. Yeah, might as well just get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I at least maybe I'm just building my own personal game in a way, but like the whole point of Bitcraft is that you can make the world your own. So, but if you can't make it your own, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. That's the vibe. But the thing about making this game is it's like a fractal in its complexity. It's just everything affects everything else, and there's 1,000 ways you could do it.
Yep.
And only like a weird combination of choices seems to work. So like if you move one knob, all the other knobs need to be moved for it to get back into a place where it works. If that makes any sense.
Have you I haven't looked at it recently, but have you seen any Steam reviews that kind of go into the like how they're experiencing with the Empire system? Any frustrations and stuff like that? Do you still get the misinformation about like the fact that it's pay to win and stuff like that?
We have not. I mean, I haven't taken a look in a couple weeks, but I mean, we can look now, but we don't have to go through that. But we get all kinds of things. You get more or less. Honestly, the things we get bad reviews about right now are like it's buggy, and it's not performant.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
the tutorial
Less-
was slow.
Yeah.
And I think those are
Just
kind of the
new
more
quest objective update is going to fix. I think going to help that.
we hope
by the
so.
way.
I mean, that's why we're working on that type of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, obviously they're not priorities, so we just need to. I guess we just need to figure out the direction to make this Empire stuff.
Well, they do. It's very interesting because we have to balance spending time working on two groups of people: people who play the game and love it, and it's important that you work on the things that they want because they're your players. They're you.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I think my headphones have died. Can I still hear you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to turn you down. We might have some echo, but it's fine.
Okay.
There's two groups of players. There's people who are really dedicated to the game, and then there's players who have never played your game before in their life, but you would like them to play your game. And any time you spend on them can kind of upset the players that are already playing your game because they're like, how does this impact me at all? Like the tutorial system is one. It's like, I've been to the tutorial. I don't want you to spend any more time on the tutorial. But it's obviously very important for us in getting adoption. So it's just something that you have to balance as well. It's very challenging to do. I wish we were better at it.
Can they get better? Time.
Yeah, I mean, I think
and experience.
Say again?
And time and experience, just like, figuring it out, right?
That's right. Yeah. All you can do is your best. Yeah. And I think I hope that players will recognize that we are trying to do our best.
Yeah. This is a good point.
That's true.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. Brought up the idea of you can't make it your own. What do you do? But settlements kind of do it. And Worm does this too, right? There's a faction. There's a PvP kind of faction world. It's 100% dead. No one plays it. But then there's the PvE ones where there's no factions or anything like that. And then there's, you place your settlement and you own your land, and then you can tend to your land and do what you want on it, right? So you can make your own. What do you do? But settlements already make it your own. The empire is for people who want something for more than just themselves.
Right. But I mean, that in principle was the idea for Bitcraft, right? That you can have a settlement, you can make your own, you can do all of that stuff. I guess, yeah, right. Okay, question you brought up the idea. If you can't make your own, what do you do? But I think settlements already make your own. The empire is for people who want to make it more than just themselves. But I guess. Well, maybe this is what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that was the idea always. That it's an opt-in system. If you want to make it, if you want to opt into the drama, I think the problem that the miscalculation that I don't know if it's a miscalculation, but the unforeseen difficulty is that it doesn't matter whether you want people to opt in or not. They will view it as they're not really joining it with that in mind. They're not joining it as like, oh, hey, this is for fun. I'm just gonna do my best here. And if I lose it, actually to them, it becomes their whole existence and much more important to them than.
So this is where it comes into where you guys built it and designed it. Even my first video talked about how there were separate layers.
Sure.
But as we played the game more and understood the game more, we actually find that they're actually intrinsically linked more than you'd think. In that a claim becomes more powerful as it has a larger empire, right? It automatically does. Word gets out. This is a big banner. It all points right to that claim, right?
True.
So they are way more linked than you can imagine. And then there's the conflict that I had with someone was because they wanted to be on the map, but they were right here, right? They were literally in our shit. And then there was a massive war, and then there was toxic comments in region chat and support tickets and drama in Discord and misinformation and them telling me that I'm a horrible people person, and it was crazy.
Yeah,
insane.
That is
Anytime it happens, I find it extremely exhausting.
Yeah. But don't you think
it's my fault? It's my fault for being on the map, right? Is that my fault for being on the map? But I guess like, but also, you know, as we're a really powerful claim, we want to show that we are. It's hard.
What?
I get it. It's hard.
Imagine though. Okay, so this is an interesting point because actually it's a really good point because I don't think that problem goes away if it's only settlements. It depends on player density. Like yeah, if everybody's super far apart, the thing is empires operate on a bigger scale, so you clash more often because you can just affect more territory more easily.
Oh, I've had claim disputes too. Don't worry. We had
well,
a
that's what
we
that's
had
what
a
I'm
guy
saying
like
is that this problem does not
early
go
on.
away by eliminating empires. Like even if you're just eliminating empires.
I feel like it's a little bit more manageable though. Like
It's
we
a little
had
bit more
like
manageable.
okay,
No,
we
I'm
had
not
this
saying
claim.
I'm not saying it's not manageable, but the point that I'm making is that
Mhm.
what if the way to resolve that situation was not to say, hey, it's all or nothing, we gotta boot you out of here, but rather to like team up with them and say, hey, you can have like in the sub map in a way, like in the overall map it'll say Ottoman Empire, but you have sworn your allegiance to us as like a vassal state. And now even though they're right next to you, I don't know if they would do that, but it allows them to be on the map, but not in the same exact way that you're on the map.
Yeah, I think that like there's a lot of claims in here that would love territory, and I would love to give it to them.
Right.
Like there's this guy down here. They're like way too close. I don't know. They want this tower here, right on north of Glintmore. I can't give you the one north of Glintmore. That's like the best one. So I can't give you that. But if I could be like, hey, we can give you this square and like this portion of it, or where your claim is, we can give you like this area around the claim itself as like a subdivision, like you were saying. And people could have like more agreements and stuff like that and come to terms. Because right now the terms are, no, you can't have it, or
it's just
yes, you can have this tower. And that's it.
There's no ability to compromise. It's just winner take all. Very toxic, and so I wonder. I think that we could do something really nice. Actually, like there is the potential to give people what they want. I don't know that, for example, somebody who wants a little piece of territory within the Ottoman Empire has any illusions of being a massive.
Most of them don't.
Most of them don't. They just want a little area of their own that is on the map.
Correct. Like Emberwatch here once I would love to give them their own
little vassal
spot,
state,
right?
and they're happy.
They're a tier 6 claim. They've shown their commitment to the game. I don't want to give it to some tier. A lot of the problem, like we have little tier 2, tier 3 claims come through, like, oh yeah, give me a bugger off. This is a tier 6 claim. They have people that have this stuff and that. I don't necessarily care about this territory. I just happen to have it because of like various conflicts that happened. So yeah, maybe giving more like that would more options and stuff like that could help.
I think it's worth a go, personally.
Yeah.
Tricky to do. I mean, we just have to make some changes. I don't know that it would be especially difficult, but I'd have to also sync with like Carter because there's just a lot of stuff.
So maybe more in game, like thinking. Let's think of it like genres. Your character is your RPG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your claim is your RTS, your city building RTS. And your empire is your grand strategy. Correct. In your grand strategy games, you have more options for diplomacy and ways that you can control the game, right? Correct. So maybe if we want to keep the empire system and all the monetary benefits and all the ownership and the cultivate your world and stuff like that, maybe it is a matter of just giving us more in-game diplomatic methods that can help people come to agreements and give them options and more agency and control over what's going on, right?
Exactly. I think
because Jerusalem had a person in their claim who wanted a tower, and they wanted a tower over here. Now, within 24 hours, I think like there was a disagreement. They ended up taking a tower early before Drew could make a decision. Then they took away their claim position. It was like this whole internal drama, right, over one tower. But maybe if Drew had the option to be like, let's allocate a little bit of land for this person, right, without having to tear down a tower, without having to do anything complicated, even if Drew even kept paying for it,
right,
and just having that, maybe that person would be a little bit happier, right? And
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing. I mean, keep something in mind. When we designed the system, we were concerned, and by the way, so was most of the community, concerned that nobody would care about it. And they said, well, why would anybody care about the Empire system? And we were like, yeah, geez, why would anybody care about the Empire system? But it turns out people care a lot about it. And so I think we just need to recalibrate under that new understanding of the world. That actually something cosmetic can be very, very meaningful to people, and that we just didn't foresee. We haven't addressed that yet, and I think we should.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe rather than nuking the whole thing, which is not a great option, we can try new things until it. Yeah.
That's my feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's correct, but
yeah. All I know is like Zerg was saying, that tower conflict over here in Giroud, multiple people quit the game over that, right? So we can't have that.
It's horrible for us. It's not a good business to be doing. Like I said, we were under the impression that there wouldn't be enough drama. What you're telling me is there's way too much drama.
Correct.
And so
people are quitting the game over it because they are not feeling the coziness that they were subscribed to. Because if they want the conflict, they want to go elsewhere. Right?
Yes, but this is
so maybe cozy solutions within the air quote conflict part. Maybe that is helpful.
Yes, if we go back to the rocks paper scissors game.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a cutthroat game with the coziest possible solution, which is not only do you lose to this person, but you must become their #1 supporter. And I think then you're now it's you against the world, right? And that's very fun. I don't know that everybody has the personality that will allow them to do that, but like if you could be a vassal state underneath your protection of the Ottoman Empire, that's really cool, because now you get your own place on the map, but also you get additional protection from a much larger person. So instead of you guys being at odds with the little guys, you are on the same team. And now, and sort of everybody's fighting at their own level. I think part of the problem is actually, if you look at the Empire system, there's many levels of that. And everybody right now is competing on the exact same arena. And that is a little bit ridiculous, because it's just not like representative of how the game's players work. Correct me if you think that's mistaken, but
no, that makes sense, because like I only have the Empire thing because the streamer like bullshit. It just kind of like it ties to it, right? And if I wasn't doing the creator stuff, I'd just probably have a settlement, no Empire, personally.
Makes sense.
But there are people in my Empire who are really passionate about the Empire system as well.
Right.
So that like you were saying, I think you said one of the streams is people want to wear the cape and have my allegiance to this kind of thing, and people have fun with that, and I agree. The whole point of Dragon's Head is that people can play the way they like, whether it's work for the claim as a single entity, whatever they want, right? They can work from us, and we don't care. I love player freedom, and I want that to remain for Dragon's Head. So that's how we kind of function. And some people kind of leaned into the Empire stuff.
Yeah.
But then you have like, over here, like I was saying, Emberwatch and stuff like that, who don't have the stream. They don't have the community. They don't want to advertise in region chat. They just have their kind of claim and group, and they're on a different level, right? Like you're saying.
Yeah,
so
they are. I think that, and that's important. Spellbinding, which I guess is Lux, said BVO's territory wars is divided into tiered wars, where you have tier 1 towers going to attack tier 1 towers. That's one way to do it also. But I will also say, actually, Dax's comment is maybe the most important one, which is saying, like, okay, forget all of the fundamental design. It is actually just not that fun to defend territory itself. And that's another, I think, good comment. You know what I think would be cool? So we're trying to open source Bitcraft. I would love, and I don't know if this is the case, but if we had a sufficiently large community, people to just try different things, and then we'll just see which one is the most fun, right? Like that. I don't know that you can do it, because it does kind of require a big server to know that it's good. But
yeah,
it's just a big search space. We have to try a bunch of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So We'll see. All right. I think I am going to have to eat, actually.
Sure.
It's been a while. But
Do you
hopefully
wanna
we've
answer
got
this
you
one
started on
last one?
SpacetimeDB. And if you could send me that thing, I would like to
Play with the bug,
play with the bug.
the rendering bug.
Yeah, I want to know if that's
Do you wanna
just a
answer this one
version
from
problem.
Lux?
Say again?
A question about empires getting buffs for those aligned. Let's say crafting or food buffs, or incentivize people wanting to be a vassal states of big empires.
I
So,
think it's tricky to
more aligned to the character thing.
Yeah, well, it's possible. Anything's possible. We can think about it. I think we need to do it cautiously. I just don't want the game to be pay to win. So that's it, basically.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you can do it without
Yeah.
that, then that's fine. I mean, fundamentally, if you look at this map, everywhere is under an empire. So does it matter? I don't know. It's kind of an interesting question. I mean, you could also
Yeah.
do it in a way where it's like, yes, it being under the empire gives you the buff, but actually the buff is tied to this tier of the city. So although basically the empire just spreads the buff to more people, but it's derived from something that was not purchased. That's another way
I
to do it.
suspect that we'll get the same issue with early on, before the game came out, where everyone thinks that it's a massive pay to win system, regardless of the,
You will.
like, the additional context
Right.
that they don't have, because it's a pretty complex game. They'll still think, bullshit, pay to win.
You mean you could be, you're probably correct. I tend to think if they're correct, I will listen to them. If they're not, there are many people that are confused about a great many things about our game, and they maybe don't play it and they don't try it. And you know what? I can't. It's just impossible to address the mind state of people who are not giving it a try, I guess. And so you lose your mind. You'll lose your mind trying to always address those. So I think you don't want to lose sight of that and say, oh, these people are just wrong and they don't know what they're talking about. But you would like them to at least, you would like to listen to people who have really thought about the problems. And I think, for example, certainly you guys have. I mean, you've played a grotesque amount more of my own game. I mean, I've been playing it since 2018 in various forms, but you've played certainly more hours of Bitcraft than I have played. So it would be foolish for me to not listen to you. But the person who basically hears vaguely about empires and just immediately says, oh, that's pay to win, I think you can also go wrong by listening to them, because you might be able to come up with a really good, fair system for anybody who gives it the time of day. So I guess I'll say that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So in summary, Bitcraft's cool. We worked on this little module thing today. We vibe coded one thing in 4.5 hours, but the additional understanding of how to give context to LLMs is really interesting, that I hadn't done research on before. So this additional thing that you've got, which is going into the docs or is already published into the docs,
yes,
like the files themselves, or the GitHub rather, the actual repo.
Correct. It's in. So the way it works is it's actually built into the command line interface, so that when you run spacetime init, which is what the tutorial says at the very beginning, it will just poop all the files into your project already.
Okay, and then you had that other person say maybe
that
who's going to help you out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I need to. They actually submitted a PR, so I got to take a look at that.
Excellent. Okay.
Doug.
Well, this will probably help me. Maybe it'll give me a little more confidence to see what we can do with it. But in terms of making a game out of it, but yeah,
yes, I mean, you know how we did that chat feature?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If you put in a fair amount of work into the context, and maybe just try it, like just design your game, but in a text file, and then say,
yeah,
I'm using SpacetimeDB. I have these tables. Please make this game happen. I would not be surprised if you get like 90% of what you want out, just straight up. Now, whether that's good for society or not.
So build like a kind of game design document that explains very like technically about different functions and features and stuff like that,
Yes.
and the player experience. And then those 2 context files you given plus an additional game design document is, you said that you ran one code to build, like one prompt to build a whole app before,
Correct.
right?
So
and you said that works.
Yes. So maybe I can even just share my screen, because I think I am still sharing my screen, right? Maybe.
We turned it off, but I can view it.
Maybe even streaming, but on my own stream I am, or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Just hide my art. Oh wait, no, it's gonna be, people won't see, my side won't see
People
it.
on your side won't see it.
Yeah.
But I believe on mine. But the if I just open it up real quick, on mine at least.
Oh, I got an idea. Yeah, go ahead. This will get weird. We'll see if it works. We might get an infinite loop, but
Oh yeah, you can do that. That works.
yeah, we'll get an infinite loop unless you pull up something that isn't my stream.
I think I'm not pulling up your stream. I'm on the PR already, I think.
Okay. Is it in your OBS too? If you just hide my stream?
1 second. I gotta look at my own stream. No. What am I doing? What's going on? Why am I looking at your stream on my stream?
So just click the browser source we added. I don't know what you called it,
okay.
but just click the little eyeball to hide it.
Oh, right. That's what's going on. Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Okay, cool. Now we're looking at the right thing on my stream.
Okay.
Although it looks like my stream's not loading for you. Is that correct?
You could.
Okay, so we have this PR. So Bradley has been working on some of the LLM stuff, doing a great job, and he's added cursor rules files and then basically a one-shot framework. So we want to test how successful is SpacetimeDB at actually just creating an app straight up with one prompt. And I think it's very important, because the more that is possible, the more useful SpacetimeDB is, especially into the future, because people would like to do that. And often you just get caught on these little stupid things that are silly. So in here is just, so for example, in Docs LLMs, one-shot summary is a summary of how it did on all of these things. And so take a look. This is for backend, SpacetimeDB versus Postgres. We ran it 7 times versus 6 times. We scored on average 91%. That's like basically of all the things we asked, all the features we asked for, how many did it get correct? In some cases, it actually just got the whole damn thing correct. That was the best case. In the best case, it gets all correct.
How does it know when something's correct and when isn't?
We are manually.
Oh, you're manually scoring it?
Manually scoring it, correct.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a huge pain. Thank you, Bradley. We use LLMs to like do things like generate this file and stuff, but the scoring is done manually.
Yes, yeah, okay.
And actually, in the most recent one, it looks like a 29 percentage point increase over just a regular like Postgres database situation, where like in some cases, basically, SpacetimeDB will just build a whole app. What is the app? So let's go look at what the app actually is. Well, we can look at the features. So it's a chat app. It is basically a Discord clone. We're trying to say, like, write a Discord clone. How many things can you get? Where it has basic chat features, adding typing indicators. So that's like when this person is typing, when they've read something, the number of unread messages, sending scheduled messages. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently we're testing that. Like Snapchat-like features where the messages automatically disappear, reacting to messages, editing messages with history.
Oh, so you're building a Discord app and you're just like literally just boom, STDB Discord app, one prompt,
YOLO, go for it.
Okay.
And it has message threading in private rooms and direct messages and room activity indicators and anonymous I don't know what this is, anonymous to registered migration. Don't know what that is, but it doesn't matter. So like,
doesn't matter, it works.
Yeah, I don't know. And then we test against all the different LLMs. So let's look at chat app. So here's one that ChatGPT 5.2 generated. Maybe I can do Claude. That's probably better. Here's Opus 4.5. So this is what it generated for Postgres. And you can see like, oh, it has an aptx and it has a socket layer, right? It's got to do all the socket stuff, and it's going to do an API, and it's going to like serialize messages and do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Well, the SpacetimeDB one, let's see. This is Postgres, Spacetime. This is what it did. So this is the back end. Can I I wish I could, well, whatever. If there's nothing on the left, why is it showing me the left? Whatever. Setting. So it's got client connected. Look at what it wrote. It wrote almost exactly the same code that we have in your app.
Yep.
Schedule an auto away check in 5 minutes. So basically in 5 minutes, it'll mark you away if you haven't sent a message. When you disconnect, it does the opposite thing. Set name. This is how you set your username. It's going to make sure that your name is less than 50 characters and that it's trimmed. It's greater than 1 character, and so on. Set status. I don't know what this does.
Yeah, and this is the just reducers and stuff. This is the back end.
Correct. This is the back end. We're going to do the front end, but this is the back end.
Yeah.
So like set status. I guess this is to check whether or not you're connected or something. Auto away, something about that. You can create rooms. Here are the rooms. Maybe I can go to like, schema. The tables are more interesting, right? So we have a table. It's got the users. We have rooms.
Click the dots on the top right, and you should be able to view file.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. That's probably better. We have rooms, right? They can be private. They can be a DM. I don't know what the difference is between a DM. Oh, DM is between 2 users. Private rooms are like a room inside of a server that's not public to everybody. A list of members of people who are in rooms, so you could see that like on the sidebar and stuff. List of people.
Does that mean it uses views for that as well in the client once we get to it?
The views are only written on the server. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what this does. I haven't actually looked through this code.
Okay.
A ban list, right? Because if you're making a game, but just to be clear, all done 1 prompt. So
yeah,
invites, messages. I think it even has threads, and you can have like a parent ID. So like message threads. You can edit messages. You can react to messages. You can check who read it. The typing indicator. You can schedule apparently messages to be sent. This is the ephemeral message cleanup. So those are the tables. And then let's go to the front end. You can imagine the reducers are like intelligent. They're not. They work for what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
if this prompt, let's say the app didn't run, would your guy go fix it, or it just like?
So the idea is it's broken up into the prompts that are specific to SpacetimeDB that we will load into your application automatically. Then there's several prompts about the framework of how this works. What I'm trying to say is, this is how the benchmark works, and this is let me take. Well, let's just look at it, right? Rules for executing benchmark prompts. Ensure clean, uncontaminated code generation for fair AI comparison. So this is going to tell you, like, don't look in these folders because this has the answers or something like that. All benchmarks must be created in the staging folder. Actually, it's more general than that. It's just when you make this thing, put it in this file of this folder. Read the prompt completely, find relevant documentation, create a timestamp server, write the backend code, backend dependencies, blah, blah, blah. And then in deployment, it's going to tell you, like, set up your thing like this, your app to have this structure. Let's see. Workflow rules. Write the backend and the client. create files, verify, ask to deploy, run commands. If yes, so basically don't automatically deploy things. Just ask me to do that.
Yeah.
Always ask whether I should be deploying to cloud or Docker or local. This is how you run dev servers. Like overall stuff about, I mean, some of this stuff probably should go into like the SpacetimeDB things. Like this is the SpacetimeDB development workflow. That probably makes more sense instead of in deployment under like SpacetimeDB.
Yeah. Okay.
But then let's say look at for front end or us. So this is the actual prompt. This is like go do this. So front end project setup is the
and from okay, so you do this, you generate the app. Presumably it works 90%. For a production, like obviously this is your testing environment to test how the prompts are getting one shot.
Yeah.
But for a production app, would you do it? You see what it builds. Do you see if it can run? You read through everything.
Yes.
Or you see if it can run, and then you just run the app and then see what errors are happening, or see if there's any gaps in the implementation.
Correct. So you would
read through everything.
Run it yourself. You run it. It might not run, in which case you have to look at the code. But if it doesn't run, that's not going to match a certain set of features, like right off the bat. In fact, I think Bradley might be grading things that don't run at all as just they get nothing correct.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it has to compile, has to then deploy, has to be able to use the app, and then he will just go through the checklist of features.
Cool.
And grade them.
That's insane. And that's just context, power context.
It is the power of context. So like actually I wanted to show you the actual thing so you can get a sense of there's just a lot because we have so many different. Okay, we want Opus 4.5. No, I want prompts. Actually, forget all of this. This is the generated apps. We want to go into chat app prompts. The only thing we care about are the actual prompts. Forget about TypeScript. So for the prompts, this is the prompt. This is the prompt system. It's going to tell you about like look for the different feature specifications in these different files. PG needs, I guess this is like something about how they're difficult or easy. I'd have to talk to Bradley about why he made it do this. But like, okay, let's go to features. Basic chat features. Users can set a display name. They can create chat rooms and join leave rooms. Users can send messages, show who's online, reasonable validation. They need typing indicators. This is how it works. Like user is typing, multiple users are typing.
Right.
Okay,
so refer to the features file for
correct.
Yeah, okay.
For each of the features. But it is a bit of garbage in, garbage out with these LLMs. Like if you put a lot of work into specifying your app in detail, like because it might, I'm going to do typing.
Which you'd want anyway. Like from a game design perspective.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't want to be vague.
It will.
You want to know. You want a concrete idea of what you want.
Absolutely. So what it's going to do for you is the programming, but what it's not going to do for you, and it kind of can't do for you, is design a game. And by kind of can't, it can't. It just can't. You can try it. I mean, you can ask it, like, hey, design a game. It'll come up with... It's like asking it to write a joke. They're just not that funny. So...
Yeah, I suspect that's where a lot of the vibe-coded games, browser games and stuff like that are coming from, if you've played it or seen any.
Yeah, I have seen... Well, I think I clicked on one today. It was like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and it's like, okay... This is just a really shitty Roller Coaster Tycoon. So,
I think I need to let you go.
Yeah. Crazy that you could do that, though, right? That you can even make a really shitty Roller Coaster Tycoon, but nevertheless. Okay. In that case, I will talk to you later. But really fun time. I'm looking forward to you building more on SpacetimeDB. I think the LMs are very helpful. I think actually... You building on SpacetimeDB is very helpful for us because I essentially would like people who are learning to be able to build apps that they never could even dream of doing before. So I think between LLMs and SpacetimeDB, I'm trying to get that gap so there's just nothing in between and you guys can just go and make stuff.
Cool.
That's the plan.
Make games. Okay. So I'm a useful use case.
I think you're the most useful use case.
Yes. Okay. Because of the fundamentals are there, but obviously the additional syntax and experience and years of kind of there. I'm still an ideas guy effectively, so which is the most important person in
Yes.
development, by the way. The ideas guy, please pay me. um, then it's just the matter of like using LLMs, SpacetimeDB first of all to improve the implementation and make the implementation easy, and then LLMs to trying to push it along as well if it can be done.
Yes, I think that basically SpacetimeDB is a really strong foundation, and LLMs are a great way to like learn and kind of like put some stuff on top of that foundation quickly, because otherwise you'll be from somebody who's written an MMO. It's just a slog, and it's not even interesting. Like at some point, you stop learning very quickly.
Yeah,
and then you're like, okay, now I'm done learning.
Can I just play the game? Can I just get the game part done?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that was also happened in my education as well when I was learning to get into some administration. It was like 6 months in, I'm like, I just want to get a job, man. Like,
right. Yeah, and I think I would even say that for Bigcraft rather, probably there's a very long tail of learning that is not true of most games, because we had to build a whole database to do it. Right. I think I learned quite a lot in that process. But even with SpacetimeDB, even though I'm learning a lot, it's like I just want to write. I just want it to be done. Like I know what I want. I just
you want to
make it.
You want to work on the Empire stuff. You want to work on the cool game stuff. You want to build an audience.
Exactly.
You want to build features. You don't want to build boring backend features. You want to build features for gamers to enjoy.
For people, yeah. I want to make it. I want to have really good tests too, and I want to have more tests, and I want to be able to make sure our documentation is up to date, and all there's like a real long, or I want to take this thing that's written in C# and I want to rewrite it in Rust, or I want to write it in Rust and I want to rewrite it in C#, and I don't want to have to manually do that. Like I can now say,
yes,
please do that, and I'll get like most of it the way there, right? So Dovos is correct. It makes it so the server is just 10% of the code. Well, I mean, both LLMs, I think, and SpacetimeDB.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I will let you go.
So that was fun. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I hope that some of the Bigcraft players got something out of it, and obviously it looks like some of the dev guys got something out of it too.
Well.
I did. I certainly did. So I have a lot in the pipeline for my video production at the moment with IC veins and all sorts of stuff like that, but I will keep plugging away at this game stuff.
I should say, feel free to, if you want to like drop YouTube shorts and you want to like cut up some of the VOD here, feel free to do that as well.
Yeah, I'm building a second channel for more laid back kind of stuff. I think that the Empire conversation could be cut out to its own video, 15-minute video. I think that would be good.
Perhaps, yeah.
And stuff like that is the plan. So now that I have a way to kind of I think it's more presentable this way. So
yeah, I think I would really look forward to watching that video, to be honest. Not that I want to listen to myself, but more so that I just think I would be interested in your commentary. Okay. All right. I will talk to you all later. It's been fun. It's been real. And see you guys on the next stream.
You gonna raid me? I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, I'll raid you. How do I do this here? Let's see. I'm good. Don't worry about it.
And then some other time next week or something like that, we'll fix up your OBS, man. Because
please, I do appreciate it. All right,
I want to show you guys something. Look at this.
What are you showing?
I'm gonna show them this.
Oh, my OBS
which is the first
situation?
thing that I saw was your
Okay.
audio devices, and
Look.
it's like you wonder why you get echoing. It's because of this shit.
Okay, in my defense, I have to explain that our Streamlabs account is shared by like 5 different people. So it's like, it's crazy. I need to get off of it. I need to get off of Streamlabs, so we will. Okay. Bye all. Good seeing you. Thank you for sticking around. It's been a fun Saturday. Go SpacetimeDB, go Bigcraft. Talk to you later.
Sweet,
Also,
go
Doug,
Bigcraft.
shout out to you for that PR. I'm definitely going to take a look at that. Thank you for the help. I need it.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Chippy. Chippy's just joining. That's sad. See you around.
Okay. Man, that was a day. Am I still on Discord? No, we're good.